What up, everybody? What's good? What's good? Everybody doing all right? Let's see what we got. Hey, Ethel, what's good? How are you doing tonight? What's the word? What's the word, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. We're going to get this thing started here in just a moment. Cheers to everybody. Just getting this shared out to a few folks, y'all. We're on a mission 100,000. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do 100,000. What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? Next level. What's up, brother? Man, everything is good, man. Everything is good. Oh, man. Trying to get this merch going. I'm going to get this merch going, man. Just waiting for my guy to hit me back up. Man. Oh, man. Lady Darkheart, what's good? Spicy Pringle. What's up, love? What's good? What's good? Hola, ¿cómo está? ¿Y tú? Bien, bien. ¿Y tú? De nada. Jazz, what's up? Hey, thank you for the heart me. Next level. I don't know, man. It's you might have to jump back out next level and jump back in if you can hear me. Because it's just spinning up top. It's not letting you in. Let's see, I'll disconnect you because it's just spinning up there. Then I'll bring you back in. Spicy Pringle, how was your day? Outside of like, did you work today? What was the weather like? You know? I feel you. I had a busy day. Cheers. Well, you need to go get you some tequila. That'll warm you up. Yeah, I did a little bit of that. I had to get the grandkids all situated. Now they're in bed and fed, bathed, all of that. Hey, shit. Look, it's Wednesday, hump day. Go for it. Go for it. Let's see. Where my dog? Where the big guy at? He might be doing something. I don't know. Man. But I feel you, man. Today has been definitely been a long day for me too. For sure. For sure. Man. So make sure you guys grabbing that daily heart me. Tap, 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 tap. You know, I gotta go and get this 100. Me and big guys talking said, man, we gotta go and get this 100,000 tonight. What? Why are you leaving? Spicy, don't do me like that. Don't do me dirty. Come on now. Don't just be leaving me. He did throw it in a circle. He threw that leg up. He threw that leg in a circle. I promise he did. Leave my boy alone. He good. He got you. Hey, see, look, those big guy after dark conversations. Don't worry. Definitely after dark. Hurricane. What's going on? What's good? What's good? Man. Whew. Yeah. What's good? You work hard today, Hurricane? I guess y'all wasn't busy, huh? I was off today. But we did pretty good today, though. Even with me being off. I appreciated it. Oh, well, there it is. Well, hopefully somebody else is back there doing something. I'm trying to see if I'm gonna have my boy come through tonight. Mm. Yeah, mine is coming on Friday. Mine's coming Friday. Ooh. I think mine's coming Friday morning. So we're gonna see how you like it. Not much, family, not much. Not much, family.
What's good, dog? What's good?
Okay. Cool, cool. Oh yeah, man. Oh, I'll definitely find out on Friday then. That's what's up. What's good, brother? You good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Making it to the house. Just left the little grocery store, picking up some stuff. I said
Okay.
I'm this
Okay.
this shrimp and chicken Alfredo out my system. So
For sure, man. Yeah, man. We're gonna get started here, man. Cause you see you see your brother already starting. Whole snack over there.
come on,
Dude, that
not,
dude there,
not
man.
right now. We don't keep straight and narrow.
Straight and narrow now. Straight and narrow. Come on. Man, we got a good little topic for the night though on the 100 100. So for everybody that's just chiming in, yo, 100 100 podcast, make sure you guys are grabbing that daily heart me at the top. Like and share. Like and share. We're going to have a little fun here. Yeah. I said we're going to get up to them 100K tonight.
Straight narrow, Marley. Straight narrow.
Straight and narrow. Oh, yeah, we're going to do it on straight and narrow, man. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go find my buddy. You know, I can never find Free to Be.
I can't never see her either. I don't understand it for the life of me.
I
I
don't know.
actually
I can never
I
invite
can't
her.
see Keita.
Huh?
I can't see Keita. I can't see Keita either.
Oh, I always see Keita. Yeah, I always see Keita and whatnot, but I can never see Free to Be. Never. That's crazy, man. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna get started, man. And I think I had mentioned the topic earlier to everybody, but um the topic tonight is essentially how do you mourn somebody that you're in a relationship with when you realize that the relationship is dead and you need to move, you need to get the hell on at this point. And you're like, man, how like I had posed a question and I was asking people, should you mourn it? And, people was like, yeah, you should mourn it. You should definitely mourn it and whatnot. I don't know necessarily, but that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're
Yeah,
going to talk about.
that's a strong question.
It's a strong question, man. It's a real strong question. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? And I guess the core of the question is, how do you mourn people you were deeply close to when the relationship has changed or ended, and you want to move forward with the necessary growth? Free to Be, just talking about you. Was trying to send you an invite, but can't see you.
I can't see you. What's happening,
Yeah,
love?
I don't know,
Welcome in. Welcome in. Marlon got one for us tonight. Pretty tough.
man. Yeah, I guess I let a couple more people roll on through right quick. But when you guys come in, man, make sure you guys grab that daily heart meal. Like, share. You know what I'm saying? Yes, peace, love, and light. Yeah, free to be here. She
Absolutely.
right there.
Absolutely.
She right there.
So I have a caveat to that question, Marlon.
Okay.
And you can jot it down or, you can mentally bank it. But how do you, if you can answer that question, then it's maybe you can help me form what I'm trying to say, which is you know that you're over it, but you're passionate about your explanation or your reasoning. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like you're answering the question, but and I'm talking about me. I'm using me as an example. Like
Okay.
I have feelings about that question. You already know I got feelings about that question.
Yep.
So it's
Hold it for
like
1 second. Hold it for 1 second. Oh, never mind. I know what that is. All right. Yeah, I'm listening.
yeah. So it's like you can't explain it with any form of passion without somebody thinking that you're not over it. You know what I'm saying? When in fact you know you are,
Right.
but it's still sensitive. It's still tight to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, how do you get that across without somebody saying, "Oh, well, they might not be done, or they might not be over the
Yeah.
situation."
I got you. I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I totally get you because it's like, especially when you had so much time invested into something, of course you're going to have passion about it. It wasn't something that just was a fly by night type of situation. You feel what I'm saying?
That part,
So
yeah.
you're going to be passionate about it because you had so much invested into it. It
Hmm.
doesn't mean necessarily that, oh, well, I still want this person. No. But the realization is me and this person spent, some time. We spent a lot of
We spent a
time
lot of
together.
time.
So, you're going to have a level of passion with it. You know what I'm saying? Kia,
Hmm.
welcome in. You know, um,
Welcome in, Majestic,
you know what I'm saying? It's just,
Kia,
hey, what's going on, Majestic? Welcome in.
free to
Like,
be.
you're gonna have a lot of passion about that relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not just gonna just be able to say, okay, I'm over it and I'll never talk about it again. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But definitely speaking to, what I'm saying, your situation or whatever. I mean,
yeah,
you've put it out there, whatnot. So you have the right to speak passionate about it because your passion is also a part of you that displays your vulnerability, right? It
yeah,
displays your
yeah.
vulnerability. It also displays um, what motivated you throughout the relationship. So a
Right.
person will be able to see that, wow, you know, he was passionate, he was passionate about this and she was passionate about this. And yeah, man,
I
it's
tell you,
it's
that's a tough
it's
question.
it's
That's a
it's a
tough question.
it's a real tough one, man.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah,
but realistically, you have to get to a point where you have to grieve that relationship, right? You have to grieve that relationship, and to be able to move past to your next. You know what I'm saying? Hey, welcome in
right.
everybody. I appreciate the heart means and everything. We got a good topic going on tonight. Welcome to the 100 100. Topic for tonight is how do you mourn people you were once deeply close to when the relationship has changed or ended,
Mm.
and moving forward is necessary for your growth. Um, yeah,
Tough,
yeah. I mean,
tough.
back on you on that one. Regardless of what had transpired, you knew that at a point you had to to push forward. You know what I'm saying? That's like I even put
Right.
myself in that category when, with my ex, I had to push forward, even though it hurt. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It hurt. And, I had to mourn it because there was not every relationship is all bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're mourning
Right.
because you had a lot of good and you got a lot of good memories. You may have the bad ones, but you're going to mourn both of those. You know what I'm saying? In my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, you know.
Right.
Kia, welcome up. How you doing tonight, love?
Good guys, how are you?
Hey, we can't
Blessed and
complain.
highly favored.
Every day. Every day.
Yes,
Can
man.
you repeat the question or the topic for me
Yeah,
one
yeah,
more
yeah. I
time? I
got you.
want to make sure I'm clear on it.
Okay. Um, so I'll break it into two parts, and it's still going to be kind of in the same. Grieving people who are still alive. How do you mourn lost closeness without staying stuck? Basically, how do you mourn people that you were deeply close to when the relationship has changed or ended, and that your growth is you got to move forward.
Mm.
Oh, that's such a deep and good question. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Because
Yeah.
that is literally the position of where I'm at, if I can just be transparent
Whew.
Very
in
much
this
so.
moment.
Please.
Come on.
Please do.
So
Yep.
I think it depends on the level of investment matters. The
Mm.
20 plus years on my end is a lot. So
Wow. Yeah.
you are literally grieving a person like a death. It's like a death actually, but this person is not dead. They
And
are
that's what I
walking
was saying.
around, living and
Yep.
breathing, but you're gonna go through those 5 stages of grief when you're bagging up from that relationship, and it is very difficult to do when you love someone but that relationship is not good for you, and that
Mm,
requires a lot of courage, um a lot of self-love, because you have to be courageous to walk away, and a lot of people will stay. They will justify their reasons for staying. They will accept a lot. It's for the kids. We got these years invested, and it is very hard. But if
mm-hmm.
you love yourself, you're gonna push forward. And the only way I'm able to make it, honestly, is God. I mean, it's just who
Mm-hmm.
He has said that I am in
Mm-hmm.
Him has gotten me through and is taking me through.
So
Because
Kia, sorry for
otherwise,
cutting you off. You said you
yeah, you're
said you said
fine.
tw- you said 20 years?
20 plus years.
Okay, was that all marriage or
It was,
relationship or what?
yes, well, it was what, 19 years of marriage, and then eight
Mm.
years, 7 years of relationship.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
That's damn near like a lifetime.
It
Yeah,
is. That's my
yeah.
best
You know.
friend, and it's like literally you're grieving a person. It is literally like a death, and you have to kind of go through these stages.
Yeah.
Um
Mm.
and if you're not really in tune with yourself, and that's where I had to do a lot of healing and growth, in order to be able to see that this is not really healthy or serving me. And I was only able to see that when I took a look within. So, and that's why I, kind of shared how I was able to get to where I am today and moving forward with others, because I know that there's so many people that's in these toxic relationships, and some of them just don't know how to get out or justify staying. And if I can be candid, so sometimes being a believer, because I'm only can speak for myself, will make you be in bondage to your marriage, in a
Mm-hmm.
sense, because
Yeah,
as a woman you're taught to stay and submit, and God don't like divorce and all of these things, but God don't want you to be abused in no way, shape, form, or fashion either. You are a daughter or a son of the Most High, and you have to see yourself as he see you, so that you can be able to stand against what is not serving you. So
absolutely.
I'm a land with that.
Okay. Dr. Spark, welcome in. Welcome in. Let's see, we got a couple of comments here. So Free to Be said it's like you're not just grieving a person, you're grieving who you were with them all day
Yeah,
long. Because you
that's big.
become whew, you
That's
become a
big.
different
You're
person.
intertwining you're
Yes.
intertwining lives.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Dr.
Yep.
Spark says, true. And let's not talk about grieving these long friendships that go sour. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
And the few and Free to Be said, and to add also the future you imagine. Yeah, because we all get in
Yeah.
those relationships, you know what I'm saying? And we think about that future, right? And when we're thinking about the future, we make those plans. Nobody just,
Yeah.
at this big age that we at, nobody just getting in relationships saying, "Oh well, I'm not thinking about the future. I'm not making any plans." No, we making plans on what it is going to look like. Me being transparent, like my ex-wife, I made like hella plans. Like, yo, we got this, we got this we're gonna do. We built in a year's time, like we was in a relationship for 4 years, got married, and a year after getting married, got divorced. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Then built a house, redid a whole house, everything, and it was like, I had to take a moment to grieve that because so much time was invested. You know what I'm saying? It's the
Mm-hmm.
investment piece that's probably the hardest part to when you in these long term relationships. It's the investment part of it. Sometimes it's
Right.
financial, but I look at the emotionals and the emotions that I was in. I know my man Busy right there, man. Welcome in, Busy. Busy was at the wedding. You know what I'm saying? And I had to, I never seen it coming. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
I
I had to grieve it. And once I grieved it, I was able to open my eyes and see so much more. You know what I'm
I
saying?
Mm.
I think we're in an age where we have the terminology to now put with the experiences that we are dealing with. And again, I credit some of the younger generations, because they not playing. They're really going through and being deep and trying to figure this thing out, and I credit that to them, and so kudos to them. But um I think we're just now learning how
Hey, boss
to
lady.
really be healthy, and what that should be and what that should look like, because we have seen so much trauma in our, in our childhood,
Yeah,
and of relationships, and we bring that into our relationships, knowing and unknowing, and sometimes thinking it's the right thing, and it don't be, and just, making things worse than what it could be, and not, just not being taught properly. And I hope that these podcasts, those that are really teaching truth,
yeah.
really, come to the forefront, like yourself, man. I appreciate this platform. That's why I'm here when I can be here, so
Appreciate
that
you as
people can
well.
get some honest feedback and experiences, so that they can get some knowledge, just to, make some different choices and decisions, because
Absolutely.
it's doable. It is
Yeah,
doable.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's doable. Welcome in everybody. Man, glad you guys can join us tonight. 100 podcast. Make sure you guys, when you come in, grab that daily heart, me like, share out with your friends. Topic for tonight: how do you mourn people you were once deeply close to when the relationship has changed or ended, and moving forward is necessary for your growth? Um, we sitting here kind of just recapping a few things of um, grieving those marriages and the relationships that we have had, And it's not, and I don't look at it as I'm mad at the person or nothing like that. I'm not mad. I appreciate the lesson that was learned. You feel what I'm saying? I appreciate the lesson that was learned. It just made me more cognizant of how much value I needed to put into myself. You know what I'm saying? Making sure I didn't lose um, any value. So, um, anybody
Well,
else
just
want
to
to come up
touch,
on the panel?
just a little touch on what you just said. Doctor Spark put in the comments. Um, you know, it's literally a process, is what she said, and
Yeah, yeah.
I would I would agree 100%. And speaking on the process a little bit, I mean the titling itself, grieving a person, um, you know, and knowing that the relationship is has ended, you have to, if you're the person that's taken on the part of grieving the relationship,
Hmm.
then you not only do you have to sustain the process of making your way through it, but you have to now condition yourself to fall out of love with the person that you were still in love with.
Mm, yeah,
So
yeah,
that itself is another process, because you got to accomplish one before you can do the other. And then when
yeah.
you bring on the second part, which is now you have to condition yourself to now fall out of love with this person.
Right,
It
right.
starts all over again.
Yeah,
It's the same process but all over again, because now you're doing it for you. You understand?
yeah,
It's like,
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
I agree. Yeah. And you also, and I'm gonna say this now, the caveat on the other side of that is, even though you're grieving this person in this relationship, the other side is that hopefully you are now learning a new person, which is yourself. You becoming a whole new
absolutely,
Yeah,
individual. You're learning
absolutely,
what I love, what I like, and that's kind of how you get through the grieving process, because now all of that love and attention that you was giving that person that was landing on dead soil, you can now plant that on yourself and water it and grow. And I'm just a believer that all experiences are not bad if they become a learning experience for you. And I
absolutely.
have learned so much about myself and others in this process that I probably wouldn't have never learned if I had not gone through it. So I am so thankful, even in this point, and even in going through it, I'm thankful and grateful for the lesson in
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. I think there's always a lesson, when something ends. I think it's always a lesson. It's whether you have the capacity to figure out what the lesson is. You know what I'm saying? And not to fall back into the same gap of what put you in that particular situation. Because I always believe in every relationship, it's two people involved, so there's always going to be two people that has some type of impact of how the relationship went, no matter what. You know what I mean? Um, and that's one of the parts about having accountability, of
ooh, the
recognizing that,
big A
yeah,
word.
the big A word. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the big A word. You gotta say,
Yeah.
man, you know what? I had a part in this. What did I not do that I should have done? You know, within that relationship that I now have to grieve, right?
Yep.
Um.
Yep.
So so understanding that when you're actually mourning a person, right? Um. You're not just missing the person. Obviously you're grieving the person. So you got to grieve, like someone said earlier, the version of you that existed in that relationship. You gotta grieve the shared routines, the jokes, the emotional safety that you had at some point of that relationship, right? Um, what your plans was. All of that is part of that whole grieving process of losing that particular relationship that you had with that individual. But you always have to remind yourself that grief is about the loss of access to a person, but not the loss of existence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that again. Grief is not about. It is about the loss of access, but not about of existence. Because you got to remind yourself that you're still an individual. You still
Mm-hmm.
need to keep pushing on. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you like that, Kitty? You want me to read that one? You want me to repeat that again? I'm gonna repeat that again. Grief is about loss of access, not loss of existence.
Boom. That part.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining us. 100 podcast. Tonight, topic is how do you mourn people you were once deeply close to when the relationship has changed or ended, and you know moving forward is necessary for your own growth. We got I know Boss Lady is kind of in the middle. She's doing some things. I know she's not gonna really comment. We got Dr. Spark up here. We got 33 Big Guy. We got Kia up here. Dr. Spark, you got anything before I move on?
Hello,
Hey.
everyone.
Hello,
Uh,
hello.
yeah, it's something that you just said about how you definitely have to move on, and that the movement is actually the difficult part because sometimes with situations like that, you hear people tell you, you need to sit down somewhere and heal, and it's all about you being still. But I'm a believer, so always refer back to God. And so, with the lepers, some of them were healed as they went. And sometimes the healing doesn't even come until you learn to
Mm-hmm.
actually intentionally move on. Like, you have to get yourself together, get
Mm-hmm.
dressed, even get dressed up, shucks, go to Meyer. You know what I'm saying? But you become
Mm-hmm.
intentional about moving on in and through life without that person. And the more you do it, I do believe that grief has no expiration date. Even in certain relationships, they may not have a hold on you, but sometimes you can think of a relationship like, yeah, we had some good times. You know what I'm saying? And not that
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
bad thing, but as long as it doesn't get you down in the dumps and in the slumps, it's okay to have that memory. You know what I'm saying? And so as you
Absolutely.
move on, I do believe that there are some times where you're going to sit down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to decline those romantic feelings. Like, that can't happen no more. You just have to be real with yourself and understand that there ain't going to be no more intimate moments, sitting holding hands, whatever it may be. And make sure you have distance. Because have you ever seen such situations where people are like, how you gonna move on if you still seeing each other every day? It's not working, but we still good
Mm.
friends. I know we're not.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're not still good friends because, and especially, I mean, if you have children together, that's a total different thing, right? But if the kids are older, hey, little J Ray going, your father at the door, your mother at the door, you know what I'm saying? You going out, you have to
Yeah.
guard your heart and your space because stuff will flare up in you. You know what I'm saying? Because grief really doesn't have an expiration date. But one important thing that I definitely want to touch is sometimes it's hard to let go when, regardless of who was wrong, if nobody may have been wrong, everybody, it just didn't work, right? But that forgiveness of forgiving yourself for the thing that you thought was going to work, that you planned for, that you researched for, you just knew how it was going to go because you guys put this up and you put that up, and like I think you said, you built a house together. You know what I mean? But you have to
Yeah.
forgive yourself for the things that didn't work that you thought was going to work. And sometimes that's our greatest enemy against ourselves, is we don't forgive. We don't let go and say, okay, it didn't work. I'm not going to blame myself. I'm not even going to blame them, whether it was infidelity or whatever. I wasn't married, but I've been in a situation where it's infidelity. I had to forgive the person and I had to forgive myself because I'm like, dang, how come I ain't see that? Because sometimes you just don't know. You just don't.
Yeah.
see it. And so that forgiveness factor in that grieving process is something that we don't even talk about, even when it's a physical death. It's something about that forgiveness factor of, man, I wish I could have been there, or I wish I could have done more. I wish I could have called mama a few more times. You know what I mean? Or something like
Yeah.
that. That's a huge part in letting go and moving on and healing. And that's true. Somebody said, with all diligence, guard your heart. Yes, because out of it flows the issues of life. And your heart can trick you. Your heart can deceive you, because when you hold people dear to your heart, it's like, oh my God. But you got to move that heart out of it and put a real picture on the wall and say, this is a reality and I just need to move on, you know?
Yeah. Put a real picture on the wall. You know what I'm
A real
saying?
picture on the wall.
Real
Take them
picture
old
on the
pictures
wall.
down.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's see. Keita said people need to allow themselves to feel the grief before effectively moving forward. Absolutely.
That's what I was gonna
Uh,
add. Allow yourself to feel it's okay. You know how some
yeah.
people, are you still crying over that? It's okay. They don't know what your story, what your process is. So if you need to cry that thing out, cry that thing
Try it
out.
out.
But don't
Absolutely.
stay there. Don't stay there. It's okay. Give your time. Even the word give you a time for mourning. So
I
it's a
Absolutely.
agree.
time for that. And give yourself grace to do that, but do not stay there. Like Dr. Spark said, I'm agree with her. Get up and start moving. Even in that morning, try to move.
Yeah.
It
Like
is
my man
power in
Busy,
your movement. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Busy
agree.
got in the comments. He said, I agree. Keep it moving. Don't stew in your own juices. Put yourself in happy places alone. Absolutely. Fly chick, welcome up, sis.
Hi, how's everyone this evening?
Doing good. Doing good.
That's good.
Uh,
I'm gonna add a few cents.
go for it.
Um,
Go for it. You got what the whole topic was? Did you catch it?
yeah, I caught it.
Okay.
I caught it.
All right.
I agree with what the doctor said and what the young lady above me said just now. Um, it's a point in time where you will eventually cry out to where you won't cry anymore. And I will say this, I learned years ago, I never think with my heart, because your heart will have you looking stupid in these streets. And I always use my head and move with logic and reasoning. That's how I make my decisions when I'm a walk and when I'm gonna leave a relationship. Now, people forget there's different stages of grieving. And the stages, I feel, are determined on what caused the breakup
Mm.
and how the breakup went about. Because you got people that were devastated, that were shocked, hurt, from something that probably happened. If it was infidelity or anything, like I said, I was a hairstylist for so many years. Women have sat in my chair and got their hair done to the point where I was proposed to 4 times and I turned proposals down because of things my clients had went through, where one woman told me they were going through a divorce and she said it felt like death, like somebody died. So when I saw this lady go from a size 12 to a 1, to a
Mm.
size 1, stress, denial is the number one. Being in denial when you're grieving, like you can't believe it. This can't be happening. This can't be true. You're not accepting the outcome. And then a lot of people's biggest mistake when you're grieving, I feel you're supposed to take time for yourself to
Absolutely.
heal. Don't jump in another relationship when you're not over the one that you just got out of. So now, this person that you just jumped in this relationship with, you bringing they growing emotions for you, but you still got emotions across the street with your ex. You're not even over your ex yet, and
Mm.
you already in something new. You already in something new. See, I never did that. I was in a relationship. My daughter's father, he did what he did. Um, the young lady actually called me and told on him. And I was actually pregnant. And I went in labor 4 days later. I had my daughter 26 weeks from stress. I could not eat. So that was my form of grieving right there. I could not eat. I had her 4 days after I got that phone call. Never experienced nothing like that before in my life. Never experienced nothing like that before in my life. It was a tough time. And she's in a NIC unit for 2 months. And during this time, he's stalking me. He can't see that it's over with. But I don't know. It's like something happened. I don't know what happened with me, because it was like once I cried all out watching her at the NIC unit, and I'm blaming myself for her being in there, me having her early because of what he just took me through. Then it was like he couldn't even hug me or touch my hand. It was like I wasn't attracted to him no more. It just went off so quick. And she's still in the NIC unit, and it's like I didn't want to be near him, a person that I had feelings for. It's like I don't feel nothing anymore. It just went away so quick. So
Yeah.
I was done. I was done, and he wanted his family back, and he was fighting for his family back, and he was in denial. And he tried. He even had his mother begging. He tried it, and I said, "No, I'm done." And I did not get into another relationship. My daughter was. It took me 8 years. 8 years, a long time before
Yeah.
I even I got it. I just feel like you have to be able to walk past that person and not feel nothing. Like your spirit I don't feel nothing for you. When I see you, when I walk past you, I don't feel nothing, you
Right.
know? But I've just seen a lot of people grieve differently when they break up in relationships. Some is real bad to where, I know people that have cut their wrists over relationships, breakups, and I feel people need to see someone.
Hmm.
It get to that point to where you are depressed. They go through depression. I've seen it that bad, and these are really clients that I've seen go through it, and to where I think you need to get professional help because it's serious.
Yeah.
That was my first time experiencing something like that, but I don't I got over it, and I got over it, I feel like, quick. I got over it fast, and I don't know what it was, how I got over it so quick. I don't know if it was the hurt, it was
I think it
the
was what someone said earlier. Is like you had to shift your focus to your child because at that moment the only thing that mattered was her.
yes,
You know
yes.
what I'm
I
saying?
think
So
yeah,
I think that played probably a very big part in it. You know what I'm saying?
that's what it was, but I just was like, and then when I hear people say when a woman's done and a woman fed up, it's nothing you could do. It's nothing you could do. No matter how many cars you buy, your coats, jewelry, whatever, it's nothing you could do. And I was at that point to where it was just nothing he could do. it was nothing he could do, and he was like, "Oh, you gonna let this woman win and that and huh? No, it's over. It's over." So that's the only grieving part for me in a relationship that I had, and I just used my mind. I didn't use my heart. I'm not being with a man. I'm not getting back with a man that did that to me. I
Yeah.
know your heart. Sometimes people follow their heart and they fall for the okie doke and get back with that person. And then it happened again. It's just like a cycle that just repeats itself. And I feel like I can't trust you. And I'm not going to go down that path again if I can't trust you.
And
So,
from what you just said, that takes me to my second point that I was going to make on that was the importance of why holding on can become self abandonment, right? Because when you
mhm,
start holding on, you you block yourself from new relationships.
that's true.
You block, and not just a relationship with another person, like you're trying to be with, but just even regular relationships, right?
Yeah.
Um, you'll keep yourself emotionally unavailable.
Mhm.
You stay you stay in it, and you end up creating a form of resentment instead of healing. This is why it's so important important that you take care of yourself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And don't hold on to it, because then you will. It's
Mhm.
a form of self abandonment, right?
Yeah.
You got to move on. You
Yeah.
definitely got to move on. You got to keep it
But
pushing.
not so fast. I just feel like everyone needs to work on themselves and focus on they. What if you got children? Focus on them. Focus on yourself before you jump into something else. You just
Yeah,
got out of something. There's no way, you know, you jumping in another relationship so fast, and you're grieving your ex. You know,
right.
I don't believe in that, because I feel like you need to work on yourself and heal yourself and take time for yourself, before you jump into something else so quick. But I think that plays off of people who, I don't know, people just feel like they just got to have someone. They can't be alone. A lot of people, because I've
Yeah.
seen
A lot of
people,
people don't want to deal with themselves.
yeah, I just
You
seen
know.
people jump from one relationship to the next relationship. How?
Yeah,
How?
it's
You
wild.
know?
You
It's
see,
crazy.
Free
Those type of
said,
people end up with the same you end up with the same person in a different body when you don't
yeah,
take the time to heal yourself. So I agree with you, Fly Chick. You definitely
Mhm.
need to not jump from person to person, and people who do that, that is a self issue. That's a red flag. That should let
Facts.
you know that that person has some issues
That is
because they
true.
don't want to deal with self. And
Right.
so if you find that they're in certain terms, it's called monkey branching. They go from
Mhm.
monkey branch from one person to the next. And so when you see that behavior, even if you the next monkey and you know that hey, he monkey branching from the next relationship thinking you have a win, you have just invited toxicity into your life. So you
Right.
really it's really important for people to really know themselves.
yeah,
Right. I
You
agree
have to
with
know
somebody said
yourself.
abandonment issues. Elijah
oh
said
yeah,
abandonment
absolutely,
issues. I
absolutely.
can agree with that. In some sense, since one of my clients was dating a guy who he claimed he was over his ex. And see, this is the point I'm referring to. He was still grieving his ex. He was not over his ex. So now my client, she has feelings for him. He got back with his ex. And now she was hurt. And see, that's my point. Why bring somebody else in it and you playing with people's emotions? When you know that you're still grieving a relationship you just got out of, and you might be going back with your ex, just stay single, work on yourself, and if you plan on getting back with the person you was grieving, don't bring nobody else into the equation, because now you're playing with their emotions and their feelings, and now she was hurt crying in my chair. You understand? So that's my point. And then you get with people, I guess they call it a rebound. Get with this person, females do it too. When they not over their man, they get another guy as a rebound. What they say, oh,
Yeah.
get up under one to get over another one.
Yeah.
That's
That's
wrong.
very
People
wrong.
end up getting hurt in the long run. And
So
grieving, another stage of grieving is growth. You gotta
yeah.
grow. When you gonna grow? You
But
know.
that's the thing. I want to hurt you because you hurt me. So, if I
Yeah.
can make you jealous for getting under somebody else so quickly, that's retaliation, but they not really knowing themselves,
So
and it becomes a
let's get in
cycle.
what the chat said. Frida B said, honor what it was, accept what it isn't, and carrying forward the growth instead of the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I said growth. Where is the? That's true. I agree. I
Yeah.
mean, that's why I don't believe when you hear people talk about what's that they say now? S- Took another spin back around the block.
Been on the
No,
block.
if you got growth, I'm not going back around that block.
Right. Ain't spinning the block.
I'm
Yeah.
not.
Right.
Nah.
But
I'm.
that's why it's important to have some type of, and I know we throw this word around or this phrase around, emotional intelligence, to know
Yes.
if
Yes.
someone is using you as a cushion or a distraction or because they just don't want to be lonely. There are signs that you're gonna see. Their communication is gonna be inconsistent. They won't be
Mm-hmm.
emotionally available. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They'll keep you at a distance. They'll pull you in. What do they call that? Love bomb. They'll love bomb you. They'll pull you in, and then they'll push you away. They'll only initiate contact when they need something, or just, it'll be off for them, and you will feel like your love tank is not being filled, whatever your love language truly is. It won't constantly be filled. I heard somebody say, you can feel like an emotional tampon, right? They just temporarily lean on you rather than value you. When you are truly valued
That's
in a
true.
relationship,
Place filler.
know you
Yeah.
know when you are. And when you are not, you are probably a cushion or a distraction or somebody's meantime in between time. You know what I'm saying? And it's important to know that. And you have to have enough value, enough emotional stability within yourself. That's why it's
Right.
important for each and every one of us to be
Mm-hmm.
healed. You may not be 100%, but if you are 75, 80, because there's some parts of us that, hey, you sometimes those keep licking. You know what I'm saying? That won't get healed enough to where you get your bearings. But you have to know the role that you truly are in someone's life. And when you
Mm.
when you feel like an extra in the movie, you're probably an extra in the
You're probably
film,
an extra.
and
Yeah.
it's good to know that. You have to know where you stand. And so, having that emotional intelligence, they just using you to boost their ego or for intimacy, or that they just want to come to your house. No, are you okay with that? Ask yourself, am
Right.
I okay with this? So that's very important, because I'm not a cushion or a distraction.
And
Or a
so
doormat.
my last floater part, when I say one part of truth that we have to realize about this, about the whole thing before I move to my next point, is understanding that loyalty to the past can become disloyalty to yourself.
Mm.
Right.
Mhm.
You have to you have to be loyal. You know, don't give the past any type of loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Which goes on to like to number three, right? When you're getting ready to move on, you got to allow yourself to grieve without demonizing them. Because you're hurt. And that's one of the first things that we're going to do. It's hard, you know. Because moving on don't require that you gotta hate a person, you gotta blame a person, or you gotta villainize the other person. You just need to, you know, understand that you guys weren't meant to be, and it's just pivotal. Move on. Somebody else was going to get ready to say.
I thought everybody was muted. I just heard you.
Yeah, for a minute it
No,
seemed like everybody
yeah, I
was
thought
Yeah, it
muted.
somebody
It
seemed
seemed
like
came
like you
off
went
everybody
mic
was
out.
like they was about
muted.
to say something. I thought somebody was about to say something.
Oh no, I was listening to you, bro.
Okay, I got you. Um,
I feel
number
I feel
4.
like I feel like I'm sorry. What you was just saying just now, I, I think it's tough because to me it stems on the breakup. It stems on the breakup. How did the person break up? What caused the breakup? Because that's tough to say because it's some things that could be unforgivable. There's some things that could be unforgivable.
Well, I mean, but
But they can't be. They can't be
yeah,
unforgivable.
it can't be
They
unforgivable.
and I understand because
Yeah,
demonizing someone else, there's dangers in that because demonizing
hmm
someone else, you spend a lot of time
yeah,
demonizing someone else, and it's stifling your growth. It's
yeah,
stifling your liberty and
yeah.
your freedom. Like there, unfortunately, the true walk into freedom and liberty is letting it go. And if I spend a lot of time demonizing you, trying to demoralize you, because at the end of the day, whoever you are is going to, one day you're
hmm
going to wake up and you're going to forget to put that mask on. I don't have to demonize someone. They're how they're living. Pretty soon their lifestyle is going to catch up with them because no
Right.
one just wakes up and become a different person. You know what I mean? And I'm talking
hmm
from experience. I had an opportunity to demonize and to show, oh my God, he's this and he's that. And I mean, with solid proof, but you know what? My liberty and my freedom was more important to me than defaming him. Because at the end of the day, who you are, if you don't change, I wish you would change because I don't want you to do to someone else what you did to me. So if
That's
I
right.
spend a lot of time demoralizing even if they are, they might be. This is one thing that I do believe. Weakness. We all have weaknesses, right? But then there is wickedness where you pull other people into your web of how you do things, right? That's wicked.
hmm
And I do believe that I was with someone that was wicked. I do believe that, but it's not my job to present them on a platform of their wickedness. I know who you are. And in conversation, yeah, I'll say what happened because I would never be muted or muzzled. Do you understand me? But at the end of the day, using my platform of liberty and freedom and advancement to talk about you. Yeah, oh no, you don't deserve that. You
No,
don't
not
deserve
even
my
gonna give you
you
that
don't
platform for it.
exactly. You don't deserve that.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
I agree. I agree with
Yeah.
what you're saying on that, but I just still feel
But I'm a,
like
but
I still feel
I
like
got you.
you
I
can't
got you, fly chick.
you
It
can't
is very difficult. It
yeah, you
is.
can't you
It
don't
can
know everyone's
depending,
situation, so I
but
cannot
I'm gonna say
sit here
this.
and say that everyone I can't tell someone they need to forgive a ex when you don't know. For example, I know people who have broke up because their husband molested their child.
I was
Can't say
just
that.
thinking that.
So you
I was just
cannot.
thinking about that.
That's where my head is at. So
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not
where I
about
went
to
to.
tell that mother,
You can't say that
oh,
word, by the
you
way.
should. Well, I'm sorry, you can't say
No, no,
mother. You can't
no,
No,
say
the
The
other
mother.
other
word,
M word.
the other M
the
word.
other
The
one.
M word. The
Yeah.
other
Just say
M
something
word.
like touched or something like that.
Violated. You could say
Oh,
violated.
Violated.
I
There you
said.
go.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, you good. You good.
He violated her, and I cannot tell that mother, oh, you need to forgive him. You need to, because I have two daughters myself, and that has never happened to my daughters, thank God. But I don't know what I would do or how I would feel. I do know how I would. I can't. I never been in that situation, so I can only imagine. So I would never tell someone you should forgive him when he violated their child in that
Mhm.
manner and for so many years, and doing that. That's why I said it's different scenarios of a breakup and different stages of grieving, because you gotta know how this person broke up and the reasons why before I even try to voice my opinion on the situation
Mhm.
or say how I feel on the situation, because
I think it's.
you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel some people say they not gonna forgive.
Mhm.
That's where their heart is at.
I think
I
it's
But
one of those
agree.
things
I
when you're
believe
talking
I
to
believe in
somebody, you
forgiving and
tell
moving
them,
on,
you
but I'll
know,
never forget.
you tell them in the end, you say, you give them reminders, and you just say, hey, I know this is hard, right? Just remind, and just say, hey, I just want to remind you that forgiveness is for you. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not saying go and do it, but I just want to give you a reminder that forgiveness is for you, not for them. You know,
And to
that's
add to that, that level, to be able to do that in human form, it takes the aid of the Holy Spirit. That's the only way that you will be able to render that level of forgiveness in that manner, in that type of scenario. That's why you have to be in tune with a higher power than yourself. And mine is God, the creator God, the most high God. Again, as I stated from the beginning, that is the only way you can re-render true forgiveness is through
yeah,
him. Otherwise, you're going to struggle with it. You're going to, depending on the level of, like you said, what happened in that relationship. So that's me coming as a believer. And with him, it can be done. With God, it can be done.
Yeah, and let me just say, I definitely agree on the subjectiveness of that. It takes more in those type of situations. I do believe that in those type of, if somebody touch your child or take a life, I've seen people forgive in those situations. Now, I am an individual who believe that forgiveness is essential. Like, it is essential to us, like, to so that bitterness and hatred, bitterness literally dries out your bone, and it eats you alive. But at the same time, I do believe in justice, because justice is just ethical. We can't remove what is ethical just because we forgive. It does not, I just believe, while God has to deal with your soul, may the justice system deal with your body. You know what I'm saying? Because we still should seek justice. Seeking
Preach.
justice does not mean that you did not forgive the individual, because if that were the case, then we shouldn't have no laws. I shouldn't get a ticket if
mm,
I run a red light. You know what I mean?
mm,
just make all the laws obsolete. So I do believe that, but I'm just saying that I believe that forgiveness is the gateway in any circumstance to our freedom, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritual. It is not where that individual does not have that hold on us, to where we see them, we want to just, take them down to the ground. You know what I mean? And that does take time. So I do believe that it's subjective to the situation, as far as the process that it takes. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that.
absolutely, absolutely. Um, Man, everybody's making very, very good points. Want to welcome everybody that's just joining us in. This is the 100 podcast, guys. Um, Tonight we're talking about how do you mourn people you were once deeply close to when the relationship has changed or ended. Um, Moving on to my talking point number 4 is, um, understanding the steps in mourning and grieving, right? So there are certain things you have to do when you're getting ready to mourn without reopening the door, which is probably one of the hardest things, right? There's a few practical steps that you have to kind of take to when you saying, hey, I recognize I need to mourn this particular relationship. One of the first things is to grieve privately. not through re-engage. You don't want to get re-engagement with someone. You need to take time and grieve privately. Not everybody has to know every single detail. It's cool, people check in on you, whatever. That's cool, but you still need to give yourself that time to grieve privately. Um, I also suggest journaling down, things you never got to say. If you journal those things down that you never got to say, it's written on paper. Because you're not in a position to go and re-engage that situation again. So write it down. Write it down so that it's on paper. It's a real thing. You could say, you know what? I'm writing it, because sometimes writing it is hard because you have to face certain realities about things, right? Um, and simply acknowledge the loss without seeking validation from them. You don't have to be validated from that person. Don't. You don't need the validation. You know, um, I remember having a podcast where we was talking about closure and everything. Some people agree that you should have closure, some people you don't. I'm just going to say closure is often something you give yourself. That's a boundary that you got to figure out, that you got to set, in my opinion. Again, for those who don't realize, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a man who've been through some things, as my shirt said. So, what you guys thinking? What's your thoughts so far?
I have, and I have what I like to call the incubation process. And when I go through certain things in life, I definitely put myself in that incubation process. And it's a place where I hide myself. Not that I'm not in public, but everybody don't need to know what you're going through and the hurt, but you don't have to broadcast it in that moment, right? Some people, they immediately, something happens and they just throw it out there. Well, this has happened. And I'm like, no, I have a niece that I often have to tell that too. Like, baby, you have to learn how to hide yourself away, like still away, because in that incubation process, there's the nurturing takes place, not pacify, or I pacify my emotions and have a pity party. No, you have to nurse yourself, and you have to pray yourself and get in God's presence yourself back to health. But that's where you become transformative, and that thing that had you can't get you anymore. But you have to go in that hiding place, that place of hidden growth and transformation, transitioning. And it's like it takes you to a place. Now you can come out you can come out with reality. Like, I put myself away. Like Fly said earlier, you have to get yourself in a place. And that place is what I call the incubation process. It's like when a baby that comes into the world, that baby, the lungs are still trying to develop, the heart, the
That's it.
organs. And when your heart is broken, when there's certain things that you experience in life, you have to pull
Mm-hmm.
yourself away. And it's okay to
Mm-hmm.
have one or two
Mm.
people around you, you know what I'm saying, that you call, that you talk to. Not that you need them, but let somebody check on you, like, oh, I'm good, I'm just doing this. And I love what Marlon said about journaling. I literally wrote my first book from journaling for like 20 years. And I was like, wait a
Nice.
minute, I got a book right here. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And so seriously, but it's that those times where I would just say, okay, I don't feel like talking about this right now. People think, oh, you got to talk about it, talk it out. Well, I'm talking to the paper. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing
Yeah.
about me, I don't need a response right now. I just need to get it out. Let me put it on paper. You know what I'm saying? But that incubation process literally will sustain you, but you have to do it right, right? You have
Yes.
to be nurtured. You have to, if you a believer, you have to pray, talk to God, get in his presence. You
Amen.
have to make sure that your environment is conducive for nurturing,
Yes.
for growth, for development, for healing. It's like if you're on drugs, stop going to the drug house if you're trying to get off drugs. They can't nurture you. There's no hidden growth. Ain't nothing in there but more drugs for you. So get up out of there, get yourself in a safe environment, and that's how you become better. That's how you become whole.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you can come out new and not just potential, but real and ready. You know what I'm saying? So
I
I
agree.
totally agree with that process.
Mm-hmm. And I stayed busy. I kept myself busy. I had so many clients. It's like you don't even think about that person no more. It get to the point I was so busy, and then I started just flying everywhere, traveling everywhere. I was gone. And this is once I was good, I just noticed, and I told a lot of my clients that was grieving, okay, what y'all do for, I knew what a lot of them did for a living. I was like, just stay busy. Just keep yourself busy. Stay busy. Stay busy. And stay to yourself. Keep your business to yourself and just stay busy. Stay busy. I stay busy. I just
Yeah.
kept myself busy, and that's what helped me too. I stayed busy.
Yeah. You got to, staying busy, taking time for yourself,
Hmm.
you know, um,
In that
because
incubation period
yeah,
that Dr. Sparks was talking about, you gain so much clarity in that period.
Oh, yes, you do.
And just for those who may be in that incubation period and brokenhearted, I want to motivate you and encourage you that God is always near the brokenhearted. So you are not alone in that
Mm-mm.
period, and you
Nope.
may feel lonely. He is their ever present help, there with you to assist you and guide you and develop you in
Amen.
that moment. So allow him to do that. Get in tune with yourself. And I promise you, if you do the work, you're going to come out better than you went in.
Amen.
that's right.
And to touch on what Marlon said about closure, um, again, I feel like depending on how the person broke up and how you broke up, I feel like if you already know the reason for your breakup, you got your closure right there. You
Yes.
got your
Yeah.
closure right there. I'm gonna use example, a quick example of something real life with a girlfriend of mine in the Bronx. Um, she was dating this guy. He wasn't honest with her. She thinking he's the one. It's just her. It's just her. And one night he came over. Long short story. One night he came over. He was intoxicated, and she went through his phone, and he had all these different female names in there. And then it was one female just kept calling, kept calling. So she answered, and that was his wife. So he was married, and she didn't know he was married, right? And so he owned a barbershop. So one day she called me, and I said, "What you doing?" "Oh, I'm outside of such and such barbershop. I just need some closure." Huh? If you don't get your car from in front of that barbershop, you got the closure when you spoke to his wife. So help me understand what closure do you need that his wife did not give you over the phone? They've been married for 10 years. So what closure do you need?
Right.
I was confused. I was confused with that. But she did leave. She listened to me and she left. Don't go back over there.
Yeah.
Let that man leave that alone. You got your closure right there. But like I said, I don't need no closure if I know how we broke up. If I know how we broke up and you did something that caused the breakup and I didn't do anything that caused the breakup, I'm the one doing the breaking up because whatever you did, I don't need nothing from you. I don't need to know why you did it. I don't need to hear any of that because I don't care to know any of that. You did
Yeah.
it because you chose to do it, and I'm a firm believer in people do what they want to do. Okay, you went out there and you risked our relationship, so that's my closure right there. Okay, because
Absolutely.
love should have had you to where you wasn't entertaining anyone else but the person that you are in love with and exclusively in a relationship with, married to, committed relationship with. You go out here and you risk that, then I don't need no closure. That's the closure right there for me. Because you went out
Right.
here and you violated. You violated. That was enough for me. So that's why I'm at with the whole closure
Closure
situation,
part of it.
because I just feel like it depends on how we broke up. Cause
Yeah.
I don't even want to hear it. I already know why we broke up. What I need closure for? I got my closure. It's over.
Right.
Now I'm
Like Busy
closing the door.
said, Busy B said, ain't no closure in that situation. Dr. Spark said he's married, so the case is already closed. You
Right.
know, like that's open. That's open and shut, man.
What are
Like
you doing at the
he's married.
barbershop?
Yeah, yeah.
What are we
It,
doing? What are we talking about?
it was
Right.
over
So,
before it got
Teacher
started. You know what
Tay,
I'm saying?
welcome in.
hey. So I
All
like to
right,
speak
doctor.
on behalf of the young lady who was in the car in front of the barbershop. Not from a personal experience, but just looking from a different lens. So, you know how everybody's always talking about, oh, and just so for the new people who don't know me, I love to speak in analogies.
Okay.
So this is going to be for the lady who was in the car.
Okay.
So you know how they always say there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
When man catches a fish, they usually use a hook.
Mm-hmm.
So the man caught her on his hook.
He
And so
need
when you
bait too. He need
when
bait too.
yeah, so when you pull the fish out of the river, the lake, the ocean on that hook, sometimes you try to get it off the hook and it falls off. So you as a person is like, oh, he was married, so it was over from the beginning. You that person that didn't get hooked. But the young lady, remember, my stance is for the young lady that was parked in front of the barbershop.
She got hooked.
She was hooked.
Yeah, she was.
The fisherman has to actually remove the fish off of the hook.
Yeah.
Now, I'm talking on behalf of the young lady who's sitting in front of the barbershop. I'm going to keep saying that so nobody will talk to me like I'm that person. Okay, so the thing is this, and I'm not saying hook like sex or anything. I'm literally using the analogy. There are plenty of fish in the sea, and she got caught out of the sea, right? That's it. Y'all listen to my words and don't assume anything around it. And so what happens is when you say, oh, it was over, she should have been gone, or this, that, and the other. Well, she needed that release because the person that caught her on their hook had her. I'm talking about they got a good, the hook that has the double thing underneath and it hooks in the skin. So if you pull it off the hook, you literally rip the fish.
Mm-hmm.
He
And so
did.
what was happening is as that happened to her and she saw it, although it should have been open then, remember I'm talking for her. Don't know her, not her experience. I'm just being the what people like to say, that devil's advocate. That was a ripping for her. And instead of her coming off that hook, it was literally tearing her as she was coming away from it. Now, she probably could have, and maybe, hopefully, I don't know, the whole story was not there. Just listening to part of what was shared, that pulling, she had to go back in because it was hurting too much. Not saying she had any contact, but maybe sitting there at that barbershop was what she needed to not rip exactly her all to pieces. Because remember, when you pull that hook out of that fish, it rips it. It doesn't, it's not pretty. It's not something that can be sutured because you catching a fish to just get the game. And so maybe that's what she needed. And hopefully, prayerfully, that hook was able to be released some kind of way. And like Dr. Spark and I am Kai P was saying, hopefully, she could know her worth, or somebody was around her, a sister, the person that checked on her was speaking life into her and telling her, look, honey, you was a fish in the sea. But guess what? There's a fisherman that can catch you with a net that
That
won't
was
harm
me.
you and will
That was
pick you
me.
up.
That was me.
And so
Cause
what happened?
something had her to call me at that when she's sitting outside that barbershop. That
Yes,
was me. And
Yeah.
I know her worth. I know her worth, but she has to know her worth.
that's the thing.
And
She has to
she
know it. So it was
has
a
to
blessing
know
that
it.
she was
And
there to talk
she got
that.
unhooked. She got unhooked after she
Yeah.
left that barbershop.
Yeah.
Now she's good. She's good.
So I'm
You
just
know.
saying, like, just remember,
Mm-hmm.
from the outside looking in, we can always say a whole lot of things. And again, when you are that person in the car speaking on behalf of her, again,
When you're not in
there's a
that
process.
situation. I agree.
There's a process that they have to go through. And hopefully, again, like you were that strong person that was able to speak life into her and reaffirm her and tell her her worth again. She didn't have to go back into that, but was able to be released from that. So I'm thankful for that. But I'm just saying there's a process to everything.
Yes.
There are suddenly things, there are modern day miracles, just like back in the day. Miracles can happen suddenly.
Yes.
Sometimes there are processes as well.
Yes. I agree.
Absolutely.
100%. I agree.
Um, yeah, definitely some real key highlights were hit. Different perspectives. I appreciate that. Um,
You got a good topic tonight, bruh.
yeah, I got a couple more points to hit on this, right?
Yeah.
Um, so number 5, letting the relationship rest where it belongs. You know, healing doesn't mean erasing them, but what it does mean is you're at a point now where you're repositioning them in your life story. They no longer have that position that they had. So now you got to reposition that person because they're still a part of your story. They're still a part
Mhm.
of you. No matter what has transpired within that relationship, it's still a part of you. They just got a different position. They're no longer in the forefront of that relationship anymore. They're now somewhere else on the back end of that relationship.
They're in the past.
Yeah, they're in the past, still in there. It's a part of that history. You know what I'm saying? Um,
And what's in the word history? Story.
exactly.
Mhm.
Um, the biggest thing and the hardest thing for a lot of people to do when they're grieving a relationship is accepting that they no longer occupy the front seat of it.
That's
You
the
know?
denial. I think that's the denial
Yeah,
stages. When you in
yeah,
denial, you in shock, you in disbelief, you can't believe this is happening. That's the
yeah,
denial phase.
yeah. You got to honor what was without expecting more.
Hmm.
That's it.
You're going to go through all those different stages at different times. There's no order. You may get to the accepting phase and go back to the
Hmm.
denial, depending on what the trigger is. So
But you
it's a
got to get to that
process.
growth stage. You got to get to the growth stage, and that's
Hmm.
when you move on. You got to grow, then you just take it, like my bruh said, turn it into lessons. Turn it into lessons. Don't make the same mistake. Don't make the same mistake because we all human. We gonna make mistakes, but the good part about it, we take them and we turn them into lessons. What are mistakes if you don't turn them into lessons and you learn from it and you grow from it and you see the red flags, you see the signs, and back to what the doctor was saying, emotional intelligence. And see, I feel like that starts at home with your parents and you teaching your kids about emotional intelligence and
Yeah,
everything. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't know what that is. And you could just sit and you could talk to a person and you could see where they at with their emotional intelligence. You could see where their mind is at and how they thinking. Because I've been on dates to where after 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm out
hmm,
because of where his head is at and where his mind is at. So you're not the one for me, you know, and I'm gonna move on. But yeah, I agree with everything the doc was saying, my girl above me is saying, pretty much everybody on the panel tonight. I really everything's been a mind opener. And like I said, everybody going through something. And this right here, what my brother is doing, he probably reaching a lot of people and it helps a lot of people that's in here listening. And we all have different experiences and we all lived and seen different. We all grew up. I grew up in the Bronx. So I've experienced and seen things that other people that grew up in North Carolina, South Carolina. We all walked different paths of life. But I'm sure if we sit down as a group of men sit down and talk, and a group of women sit down and talk, we all have relatable ex relationships that we all done experienced probably the same thing
Yeah.
in our past relationships we can relate to, no matter where we grew up at. The relationship, something in that relationship, we
Yeah.
experienced it.
Absolutely.
You know.
All right. Big guy, what you got?
I'm just listening,
Okay.
taking it all in. There were a few points that that I wanted to just say, but we're past that part. So yeah, just it's it is amazing to hear how much people are going through and how
Yeah.
relatable the conversation is to a person that can just come to the panel and they're able to join right into it. So hats off to you, brother, with the question. I told you it was going to be a banger.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and here's another part to understand when grief shows up, right? Grief often shows up as confusion before it shows up as sadness.
Hmm.
Because you're questioning everything, right? Um, when you constantly replaying old conversations, you start going down that rabbit hole of why didn't I catch this earlier? Why
Hmm.
didn't I see this? Um, a part of that grief is, you start checking their social media, trying to see what they're doing. Because that's the age that we in now, right? Um, you begin to wonder, do they
Sound like
miss me?
stalking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do they miss me like I miss them? You know what I'm saying? Um, Understand that if you're confused, you have started the grieving process. That's the grieving process. Um, um, this is where you got to watch out for hope, because hope becomes your worst enemy. Because now you're hoping that they're gonna change when they've been like this for years. You're hoping that um, this is only temporary. You know, um, you're you're holding a space at this particular point for someone who is no longer holding a space for you.
Hmm.
That's one of the biggest parts that I can relate to the most was even when it ended. I Me personally was never able to move on fully because I was still holding a little piece, like maybe. But
Hmm.
once I recognized that that was holding me personally back, that's when the most clarity came at that point. You know, that's when the most clarity came.
So when we were talking about guarding our hearts, and forgiveness and guarding your heart, not giving the heart. So what the way I chose to do it is, and maybe this is just a male thing. I don't know. Is how I dealt with it, which was, you know, I didn't guard my heart trying to, get to know this person or to go further on to marry this person. I gave her my heart.
Mm,
So I don't want to, you know, turn something off that I may not be able to turn back on. So, and I say that by saying I need to be able to forgive this person with my heart still on and forgive them with my heart, as opposed to turning it off, which, as Dr. Spark said, can turn to anger, hate, bitterness, in which all things that eventually eat away at us from the inside out. Like Fly Chick said, this chick went from a 12 to a 1. She is eating her up. So that's kind of how I chose to do it. So I didn't shut my heart off. I just, I chose to forgive with my heart still in play, and not for her, but for me.
Yeah, you can't, that feeling of going numb is very, very dangerous, because that is when you suppress your emotions. Like, acknowledging how you feel is very important. Allowing yourself to be vulnerable, it's okay, because shutting down, that's sometimes that can be the distraction. We just want to shut down, we want to turn it off, but we still need to be open so we can fully connect with other people. We just know not to connect with that individual. You know what I'm saying? It's like you acknowledge that you still feel, even when you talk about going back a little bit, erasing, I don't want to erase the past, because even though certain relationships didn't work out, it wasn't all bad. I can't acknowledge, some people say, oh no, that's so blah, blah, whatever, whatever. No, I'm going to acknowledge that we had some great laughs. We had some amazing road trips. You know what I'm saying? We had some phenomenal interaction. It was great. It wasn't all bad, but it's over. You see what I'm saying? So I can acknowledge what it was. I can acknowledge the enjoyment of it without hope or expectation, because I have no expectation of the future. Like, they're not erased from my past, but they will not be written in the current script or the next act. You know what I'm saying? And so you just acknowledge it. So turning off your feelings is bad. It's bad for you, because it causes a numbness. And when you can't feel and you suppress, at some point you're going to implode. And folks wonder why they, get on these, that mental, sometimes that it causes a mental breakdown when you hold that stuff in. You just can't. I don't want to be numb. I want to know. I was sad. I was mad. I was angry. Oh yeah. But I'm not anymore. And I'm gonna get mad, sad, and somebody else gonna make me mad. The grieving process, so something else gonna happen in life. It won't be with that same individual. You know what I'm saying? It may be with something else. It may be with a physical death or loss of, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna happen again. But the more you deal with it, you it doesn't get easier, but you just learn how to manage your emotions. You learn how to not let them get so far away and so carried away from you. So guarding your heart is not shutting it off or shutting it down. You just learn to manage your emotions, and when those vulnerable times arise, because I want to feel, shucks, if that's the case, I want to be able to, feel the love of my great niece, or my, whatever. Like, when you shut it off, you shut it off. We don't want to shut it off.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It up for the next lady that's trying to be in your life.
Nah, see, that's what I'm saying. Don't, and that's my opinion. That's my opinion. That's how I did it. So that I'm not gonna, not open myself up or keep myself in the mindset of, okay, well, I'm not gonna let my blessing go by if it presents itself to me, and I can't do that if I turn my heart off. So I need to know how to, forgive with
You
the
just
same
got your
feeling.
guard up some. You just have your
Yeah,
guard up some.
yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody. Of course, you'll have a guard, but
Yeah.
you still got to be, you still got to have a free lane to, to go and come, for lack of better words.
Right. I just feel you can't take it out on the next person. Some people do. Some
Right.
people went through a hurt that was so bad that the next person they take it out on, and they miss out on their blessings because of that. And I've seen it happen, but when they hurt, and they just take it out on the next person, the next relationship, and the next person that's trying to be in a relationship with them.
Right.
I don't know.
One thing
What's
is that healing is healing when we all talk about healing and everything, right? One of the biggest aspects of and biggest parts of healing is healing is when you stop wanting them to change. Because the denial part of everything is continuously wanting that person to change. But healing is when you no longer care about them changing because you realize that the biggest change that needs to be made is the change within yourself. You know, um,
You have
you
to
got an
be.
opportunity at that point to rewrite what your ending is going to be and not what they said it was going to be.
You have to definitely see that person for who they are when they show you at the beginning, and not the potential as of you wanting what you believe you should see or this person is going to be. You have to ask yourself, if this person never change from who I'm seeing today, would you be okay with that person? And if your answer is an absolute no, then that's not your person, because wanting a person to change for you is a level of control as well. And so you have to be again in tune with yourself and know what your shortcomings are and acknowledge that, so that
I
you can
agree.
heal and work on it. But that acknowledgement and accountability part is, that accountability, that's a big word today. And a
Hmm.
lot of people don't want to take that self
Hey,
accountability. It's not control of others, it's control of self. It's
Amen.
control of self. I get to see how you love and then decide if that love's fit is fit for me. But we not taught that. We've been taught, oh, I could and I'm just gonna keep it. I'll put this on him and I get him to do what, no,
Mm-mm.
that is the
That don't
wrong
work.
thing. That's stinking thinking. Or I buy her enough to where she'll do what I want. She'll submit. I'll buy her the
Mm,
world. What you want, she'll submit to me. That's the wrong thinking. You're leading with the wrong thing. And so again, get in tune with yourself, your star player, be
mm,
accountable for yourself so you can heal in those areas where you are, attracting these type of people, bringing this to relationships, because it goes both ways, and everybody is coming with something.
right.
It's just what it is. You have to just decide if that fits your something, and that takes time, vetting, and looking. But if you in a desperate place, you will take anything. So again, you have to know who you are and have yourself together before you even decide to even be in a relationship or seek a relationship with someone else. Because if you in a state of survival, you gonna be desperate,
That's true.
and you gonna take whatever come your way.
I believe you can't change anyone. They gotta want to change for within themselves. I'm a firm believer in, instead of you trying to change someone, maybe you need to change your taste in men or your taste in women. I tell my client that sit in my chair and say, "Oh, my husband, he drink all the time. He drink all the time. If he don't quit drinking, I'm giving him an ultimatum. I'm leaving. I'm leaving." Wait a minute. He had to have an 18 pack. He drank 8 beers when he got off of work before he met you. Was he an alcoholic before y'all got together? Yeah, yeah, he was. Okay, you knew all these things before you got with him. You better off changing your taste instead of trying to change him. If you don't want a man that drinks, you don't date a man that gotta have an 18 pack of freaking beer when he get off of work. Or if you don't want a man that smokes cigarettes, you don't date a man that smokes cigarettes. If you don't want a man that's on drugs or out here still in the club, not coming home when they supposed, you don't date those type of people. You change your taste. And what happened? She went through with it. She filed for divorce. He didn't stop drinking. He still drinks to this day.
Doing the
So,
same
And
things.
that could have been acceptable for her in the beginning, but she grew and her taste changed within the relationship as well.
but you
Because
know,
again,
this certain person, we all know this man. He's been an alcoholic all his life before they even met. So that's my point. With you trying to change someone, you better off changing your taste, because a person, even in a relationship, if they're doing things that's disrespectful or things that you don't like or you want them to do, they're not passionate enough, they're not sexing you enough, they're not being, you know, whatever you want, and they're not doing it. That goes with learning a person before you get serious and seeing how they move before things escalate into a serious relationship, and you could find out what this person is all about, and then you move on from there. If that's something you're not down with, you don't date that person. Because
Yeah.
I'm not trying to change no one. I believe in molding but not changing. And when I say molding, I'm referring to like, honey, that outfit don't look right. Change your shoes. I like these shoes right here. Those are nicer. Something like that. But changing, nah. I believe if it's in that person, it's in that person. Because if that man want to open up the car doors for you before he met you, and then he started doing it when y'all dating, but then once he got you, it stopped. He stopped opening up the car doors. That was never in him.
For sure. For sure. Peachy, what you got?
My husband been opening up the car doors and
I
pulling
bet you
out the
had to.
chairs and everything for me. It's 10 years now.
You know,
Praise God. Praise
That
God.
was in him.
I like to ask questions opposite.
I'm
The
not trying to change no
just
one, because they
what
gotta want to change for themselves. They gotta want to change for themselves. And I feel like if I'm grieving, then I ain't trying to change you, because if I'm in the grieving process, it's over.
I
So
got you.
yeah.
What you got, Peachy?
I like to look out of different lenses. So what if that person was everything when you all got together in your relationship? Now it's a marriage. That's a different thing. And something happened and now they're drinking or doing stuff. You don't just like run away from that. What do you do then?
are you saying, Peachy, that they were not drinking at the beginning, but then something happened that caused them to become inebriated more often? And now what do you do with that? Is that what you're saying or asking?
Yeah, I was asking that the fly chick, but she went on a coffee break. She disappeared now. Yeah, I just like to
Probably
look
had a
from
call.
a different lens. I like to hear people's opinions. That's what I like. That's why I pose questions like that.
Anybody got an opinion on that?
Well, I believe in that type of situation. If you're already with someone and something happens in any capacity, could be, trauma or, something that leads them to drinking or something else, especially if that's your spouse. I mean, it, for better or worse. Now, you you can't make them do anything, but you can recommend and suggest and be of a support if they want to, but they have to acknowledge that this thing is tearing me down, is tearing us apart. And, you could be of support to help them change, or, to help them, change their ways, but you can't make them. So if you're already with someone and something happens, I do believe that as that person's spouse, making those suggestions, to lead them in the right direction, or, help them, being a support. I do believe that's important, because that's part of the vows that we made, whether it's a
Right.
drug, or whether it's financially, whether it's their physical health, whether it's their mental health. Like, we made a commitment. We stood before God and created a covenant and made a vow that we were going to be there for each other till death do us part. Now, I do believe that if it gets to the point to where it's destroying the family, and the structure, what you said in your house, then you may have to take further actions. But sometimes people just need a little push. You know what I mean? And if you're their spouse, you're, you like a tight rope with them, you, them, and God. And so, to assist and help, but not, you can't make them. But I do believe that you should be of help and of support to, to just help them get free from whatever it is that they're entangled in.
Right.
I appreciate
Right.
that answer. I was waiting on you to go all the way in. I think what I was looking for is when you are in that marriage, you're that person's covering, and like Marlon's platform is 100-100. I'm going to go in and start praying and interceding for that spouse, because
Come
God is
on.
going to hear me. And so that's what I thought you were going to drive into, Dr. Spark. I was like, okay, she driving in there, she driving in there. But that's, we can say that word on here, right? I'm going to pray my spouse's deliverance. I'm going to intercede and break whatever it is off their life in prayer, because of my relationship with God, my relationship with Christ. I'm going to pray and plead and break whatever it is over them, because God is going to honor my marriage. That's the covenant I made in front of God, to God, in front of everybody else. And so that is going to break that off. And I thought she was going to drive it there, but I appreciate your response. And that's why I was asking that to fly chick.
I
But
do.
yeah.
I do believe that. I believe in the power of prayer, and I also believe that faith without works is dead. So I just came from a standpoint of there are certain decisions that they have to make, and I have to be a support. Prayer is without saying. To pray for them, a sanctified wife is, sanctified by her sanctified praying husband, and vice versa. But when it comes to when you're dealing with addictions, and stuff like that, God will break the addictions, but then it's up to us. Everybody still needs, people still need a support system. And if
Yep.
that's your spouse, you being their support, you are being their covering. But you have to not just pray to God, but I need to also hold you accountable, because it's first natural and then spiritual. So I'm going to pray in the spirit, but in the natural, I need you to make some actions and make some decisions and some choices, that can keep you clear and clean. I'm going to keep you accountable, but I'm not going to babysit you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to ask you every day or where you going, but I am your support. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely agree that, that praying and interceding is first and foremost, and that's continual. That's the beginning, the middle, and the end of the beginning, and the beginning of the ending. You know what I'm saying? So I do get that.
Absolutely.
I agree. I agree,
Absolutely.
Dr. Sparks. I think, and also just to drive that, I think the part that she was saying is that that person has to want that as well, and that's where those action steps on that spouse comes in, that they have to also want the deliverance from said substance or whatnot. So it's a twofold. It's a twofold.
Got you. Let's see.
Can I
Busy
ask a
Bee said,
question? Oh, wait.
let me read one comment right quick, Dr. Spark. Busy Bee said, meet people where they are, don't conform, but compromise. Don't lose yourself. Um, I think he said he could have scaled it back to one case or whatever she would think is okay. I got a little lost on that last part, my boy. Um, but you're more than welcome to jump up and explain it, because I don't want to misinterpret or put something out that is not the correct word that you got there. But Dr. Spark, go ahead.
So my question is, and it was ignited by Big Guy saying, and I love the fact of keeping his heart open. And he says something that he said it may be a man thing, and I do believe men operate like this more than women, because women we are told, you know, protect yourself, go somewhere, go in the corner, sit down, and men, they can get a divorced and I mean in 6 months they remarried, and then they be married for 40 years, you know what I'm saying? Or their spouse can pass away, and 3 months later they have another spouse. Yeah, they love, but so I do agree with that, keeping his heart open. So but my actual question is there a difference between moving on, or moving on from a spouse, the loss of a living spouse, as opposed to the loss of a deceased spouse? So if you're a widow or widower, because um is it the same, like, how people say, well, you need to go and heal and sit down somewhere? What would you say is the difference between moving on from a spouse that passed away, as opposed to a spouse that it didn't work, whether it was just lack of communication, whatever, disagreements, infidelity, however that may be?
I got you. I got you.
So is the moving on the same, or is the moving on different? And I asked that. What he said triggered the question, but
Well,
I'll
let me let Big Guy answer that, because that's his perspective. So I'm gonna let him answer that.
And that's funny that you brought that back up, because before we started the entire conversation, me and Marlon actually spoke about that um, a little bit. Just it was another question. I can't even bring it to mind right this second, but um, I would say that it's definitely different. And again, this is just my opinion. This is, you know, me me and my thoughts. You know, as the slogan says, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a man who's been through some things. Appreciate that advertisement there, brother. Yes, sir. But uh, I think it's actually worse and harder when the spouse or significant other is alive, because it's not only are you dealing with um, everything that's transpired, but you would still have to tend with the fact that you may see them. And, you need to be able to control your emotions. You need to be able to control your space. And when I'm talking to another brother, I'm going to say, you need to be able to control yourself in your square. Stand on your square, and be stable, and it takes it takes that time to rebuild yourself. You spoke about that. I thought that was great. That was perfect. Um, Kia spoke about that. You definitely need that time. I mean, jumping from, and it's okay if you need to date, or something of that nature, but being able to, you know, being able to build yourself back with whatever was lost during your grieving point, or time. Um, Now, to the opposite side of it is when a person dies. That's a clear decision that our Father and our Maker has made. Our stories are written. We just live it every day. I
Mm.
make that statement. and have come up with that. Our story's already written. We just live it every day. We wake up and we thank God for waking us, and we keep moving, and keep pressing forward. But knowing that you won't see that person, but we all hope and pray that they're in a better place aside from ourselves. Um, and we know that we're not going to see them anymore until, we fall upon our day of judgment. And all of us are going to do it. Well, maybe, and the word says that too. Some of us won't, but that's going to happen. So just being sound and set in yourself, and knowing that it is a difference. Again, I feel like those that's how I look at it, as far as um, whether a person is alive and well, and you having to deal with that, versus one that is unalive and you're having to deal with that. So I hope that helped you. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah,
No,
I agree. I definitely agree. Even though, I've heard different things like, oh, you just lost your wife or lost your husband, or you know what I mean. But like I said, what made me think about it was a part of keeping your heart open. Like, okay, I have to keep an open portal for what is next, because life still goes on, even in the hardest and most difficult and challenging time. So I definitely agree with everything
Right.
that you just said. Yeah.
And I'll say, it's, I don't know where it is in the word. Forgive me for not knowing my word like I should, but I'll go off of just our stories that we've seen and movies and stuff like that. Christ shouted out to God, Lord, forgive them, for they know not of what they've done.
mm,
That's straight from the heart. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And here's a man that's been drugged to his cross, that had to carry it, his own. But yet and still he had the power and the ability to say, forgive them, for they know not of what they've done. Who am I to say that I can't do the same? That's the least that I could do. So to shut my heart off and say that, I'm not feeling this, or they're giving me a different vibe. I can do all of that with my heart still intact, and knowing every keen sense that the good Lord has given me to make my sound judgment based on that.
Absolutely. Let's see. We got a couple of comments down here. Um, and I brought Kelly up, and we're gonna get to Kelly in just a second. Let me hit a couple of these comments right quick. Dr. Spark, she referenced what you were talking about. That's Luke 23 and 34. Um, Rachel Love says, true, but when you lost someone, it's harder because that was the only person you had in your life. I can understand that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And then Kelly says she's learning. Kelly, and I'm sorry, I'm saying she, but Kelly.
I am she.
Okay, I apologize because I don't ever
Why
want to
why would you think
misspeak.
different? No, I'm so curious why you would think I wasn't a
Well,
she.
I tend to just I don't assume anything. I don't want to
Yeah.
offend anyone.
No,
So
you're good. So you know what is so like I just scroll through TikToks. I don't even always stop by many, but I think it was the gentleman beside you, your neighbor, lend him some sugar because his words were, so I'm divorced after 32 years. 32 years is a long time. And so in comparison to being divorced and your spouse passing away, it's harder. I agree. He was so point on, like, I feel like he has lived my life because and mind you, I was okay with it. Like, I filed for divorce, but at the same time, they're not always gone. Like you said, you still have to show up. We had 3 daughters. We lived an amazing life, but there was just, and I'm not going to expose him because it's not my story to tell, and I still respect him, but there were things that happened that I couldn't live with. But I still have to see him. I still have to avoid him and his new wife at my children's events and my grandchildren's events. So when he says, is it easier for them to pass? I used to beg for that. Please don't judge me. I'm like, it'd be easier because now I have to live with the fact that he's a ghost in my life, but he's still alive. Does that make sense? So whoever
No,
the
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
So you got to a
absolutely.
point where you were able to grieve and mourn that life.
I'm still mourning it. Can I tell you something? Like even though I filed and won it out and I'm not unhappy with my own life, I still mourn that relationship. Not because I mourn him. Hear me out. Hear me clear. I
Mhm.
don't mourn him at all. Like there's nothing in my spirit, man, or my soul that can even hardly stand him. I mourn the 32 years with my children and my grandchildren. And so now I have to show up in spaces where I have to tolerate him because like, I could have peace with him, but he's still like, he's been mad at me for 8 years since I left. And so every time I have to show up at our, and I'm not trying to turn this into a therapy session because I am a therapist, but every time I have to go to one of our children's events or our grandchildren, I have to put up with his hatred towards me. Like the room is filled with it. Like he can't get over it. I'm over you. Like we lived a great life, but you're right. Like and please, anyone on here who's lost a spouse, don't take this the wrong way, but it would have been easier had he passed away. Do you
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? Does
I
that
understand.
sound harsh?
I understand what you're saying because
Mhm.
you don't have to end up dealing with the fact of knowing that this person that you're going to have an interaction with this person. So I understand that. I definitely understand that. And I'm not a therapist. I'm just a man who's been through some things.
For my children's
Um,
sake, I wouldn't want that. But
right, right.
right, you know what I mean? Because he was a great father. He was a terrible husband. But I don't
Yeah.
like, I respect him but I still have to, like, when I say I have to buckle up for common events we have to show up for, I have to buckle up. Like it's so stressful because his, he just felt like I should have just stuck it out. Kelly, we've been together this long, and I just didn't want to live my life out like that. And he'll be mad at me for the rest of his life. He's remarried. He has a new wife. He's going to be mad at me the rest of his life. I can't help him with
Maybe,
that.
maybe not. You know,
I hope
he maybe
not.
he maybe he still has to grieve.
It's been eight
What you
years,
guys have.
bro. 8 years. He's got
Hey,
a new wife. A new wife. Do you hear me? He went down the aisle again. And
You're
he's
the one
all the
that
way
got away
married.
though. You the one that got away, and so you're gonna always be the one that got an away.
I
So that's gonna
guess.
mm,
always be there. And
mm,
and
But
yeah,
and
what can I do
divorce,
to help that? How can I
that's
fix
nothing
that?
you there's nothing you
nothing.
can do. That's beyond, that's a him problem. And it's just a him problem. What you have to do is just be okay with it.
I'm
You have to be
trying.
okay that's what it is, and it's because you are the one that got away. It's always like that.
But Dr.
um
Spark, it's sad for my daughters because he makes it so like I can be in the room with the devil, literally, and he wouldn't know I did. Like he makes it so uncomfortable. And I don't like I even requested, like I text him. This is where first of all, we were married 32 years, had 3 children, built 3 homes, lived a life. And now I have to text him. He's that angry at me, like he won't even hear my voice. So my daughter's wedding, for example, like he made it so clear how he was still angry at me at my daughter's wedding. It's been 8 years. He's remarried. Do you hear me? He has a wife. Like, why are you still mad at me?
So I'll say this: the to I am Kia's point. Um, you are the one that got away, but you're still uneasy when you go around, and
Uncomfortable.
I
Uncomfortable, not uneasy, but very uncomfortable. Yeah.
okay. All right. Uh,
Because he expresses like his still hatred for me is in the room, even with his new wife. And so I don't know how to fix that. So this is what makes me sad. Hear me out. I'm not like, I will never, ever talk down about my children's father. He was a great husband. He did his best. He was a great dad. He just wasn't the one for me. And so here's the thing. I'm not coming up here to like express my anger or hatred or, like towards him. What I'm saying is I don't know how to, like, I even asked him, can we just meet and talk? Like, can we just come to some sort of like, it, it worked for a long time, and I'm not going to tell you why I filed for divorce, but you can pretty much guess. He's remarried, and I'll just leave it there.
Right.
Okay. So it's just so like it keeps me, this is what makes me sad about it. Not him. It's like there's some events of my children I avoid because the stress level, and they're like, Mom, why weren't you there? And I'm like, because he makes me that uncomfortable.
I think it's a point. Again, I'm not speaking from as a therapist. I think it's a point where you're still hurt because I
Yeah.
can hear
I'm
it.
not hurt at all. I promise you.
Mhm.
He is.
Okay.
He makes me uncomfortable when I show up for my children's events. We have 3 children together because
Hmm.
he's still angry at me. I'm not hurt at all. I've moved on completely. Like, I left 10 years before I filed for divorce. I was emotionally out of our marriage before I left. I'm not hurt
I
at all.
apologize. I misspoke. I misspoke on that.
That's okay. Yeah.
You
I
know,
can
but
understand that.
what I'm hearing though is you're still trying to figure out how to blend together, but without having to blend together. Because like you brought it up a couple of times, right? Where you said, you know, we have so
It's
many
like
things with
co-parenting.
events.
It's like
Right.
co-parenting. Like, he's not able to. He can't stand me being in the same room with him
Well,
and his new
I got
wife.
you.
It's not me. Like, I'm telling you, I'm a trauma counselor. I'm in all kinds of rooms. I can be in the room
Hmm.
with my enemy and they wouldn't know. It's it's
Right.
he is still, he'll live the rest of his life out mad at me.
May I
But
ask you a
I'm not,
question?
yeah. Go
You say you
ahead.
guys have 3 kids, right?
3 beautiful daughters, amazing, and 3 grandchildren. Yes.
How old are your daughters, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I'm 62. Fortunately, I've lived my life good, so I look about 50-ish. But we're grown. We're not young.
No. I said your daughters.
35, 27, and 22.
Okay. So all you kids are grown.
And amazing daughters. He did an amazing job. He's a great father. And he was a good husband for a while, only because I conformed. So let me share something with you. I'm not naturally a monogamous person. Okay. I conformed to monogamy when I got married at 25. No, I didn't. I wasn't the one that cheated. But let me share something with you. We were very, very different. And so, sometimes that like slams into each other, like exact opposites. So we didn't get married till we were 25. Our first daughter was born I was 26 years old. So the thing is, he was focused on money. I was focused on family, and it never conflicted. Like, the thing we had in common was raising our children, building houses, and then there came a time when I was real honest with myself. Like, I am just conforming to the American way: get married, build a house in the suburbs, have kids, be the soccer coach. I'm not a monogamous person. I was never born that way. I don't believe in it, but I conform to it. So at some point, I had to admit my true identity to myself. And so that kind of conflicted. Um, yeah, that part. I don't know why I'm sharing all this, but I don't care if it helps anyone listening. They can listen.
All
Kelly,
right.
I would like to share with you, if you don't mind. I'm not a therapist or anything. I'm just a girl who's been through a lot of stuff, like my brother Marlon. But I hear you. I'm the adult child of parents who were divorced. I think it was 22 years. And so it affects your children. But I hear you because other than the non-monogamous part, I hear my dad when I hear you talk. So when my mother and my father get together and they have three grandchildren and
Yeah.
three daughters as well. I'm the oldest. And so he stayed away for years, but he stayed in contact with the children, the three daughters. And so anytime he comes around, like there's events, my son, which is their grandchild, have events, I want both of the parents there. And so my mother, she will, it's like you can physically see stuff happening. Like she can't stand him, but he'll come into the room and greet everybody and greet her, just like she's another person. And it's like it makes her boil. Or my baby sister, she played basketball, traveled basketball, and they would both go. He would sit on one side and she would sit on the other side. And if she were to even see him, everything about her changed to like anger. And all of us felt it. And we all would just look at her like, you can't sit in the same gymnasium. Like, I understand y'all don't like each other. At one point in time, you know, it felt like we had to choose our parents, but we grew out of that as well. I don't think you'll ever get that why he acts that way. It's something within him. And you just have to continue to be and know it's not you. um if you think it is you, maybe that's the reason why you're wanting to have a conversation. But again, if you know your worth and your value and you contributed something so great as yourself, your time and your children to this world and your time to that man to bring forth that, then I don't think that you know, should have to worry about that. Just to continue to be the
Yeah.
great human being that you are and continue to contribute to the world and help other people that are going through an experience similar to yours.
Thank
I
you for that.
honestly don't think you're going to
Yeah.
get that why he's like that, because I don't think
Yeah.
that my father is ever going to get that why. They're
And
going to
here's the
take that
thing,
to the
sis,
grave because
listen, like
I don't know.
I know that, but I like my kids and my grandbabies are like, why weren't you there, Grammy? Like, because I sometimes I emotionally can't stand his hate in the room, and I feel guilty. Like, there's just times I can't show up because I emotionally am trying to just cope with the fact that sometimes Christmases are different, Thanksgivings are different, and sometimes I show up, but just he overpowers the room every time on me.
Yeah, so you just need to, like you said, you have to like buckle down instead of buckling down or buckling yourself in. Take that Spanx off and be the big version of you in that room. You be the bigger light in that room because people need you there. Like your family needs you to show up.
Thank
I know
you.
one my
Thank
son, the
you.
grandson, he'll say, if granddaddy isn't here, I don't like it. Even though my grandma doesn't want him here, I still want my granddad here. And so you have to get like a village or something around you to support you and help lift you up so that bigger you can show up in that room.
Yeah,
Because
I just always feel like I don't want to cause them stress. Does that make sense?
yeah, I understand that.
Like,
But
I always feel
remember,
like literally like my daughter's baby shower, like I knew he was going to be there, and he had texted me and said, don't show up crazy, Kelly, like I've got all the, so I didn't go. And my daughter's like, Mom, why weren't you there? And I just felt like it would have been worse if I was there because he has
my
the money.
mother told my father my middle sister graduated from her associate's degree. And my father was there. My boyfriend drove us all up there. And my mother was like, you need to leave. And do you know everybody else actually took my dad's side because he was like, nah, he needs to be here. You
Yeah.
can leave. And she's the mother.
Yeah.
So I think that
I
if
feel
you
like
show
you're
up,
expressing my exact life. Thank you. I'm gonna
yeah.
mute for a minute and I'm gonna stay on though. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh yeah, I think that for sure you are definitely what they need. And please do not dim your light for anybody. Keep that big energy, your big bright self there because that's what's going to help your three daughters and your grandchildren continue to go on. You have to defeat this or they're going to have to face that giant in their older age. So I want to send you some like just genuine love, power, and let you know that you are worth being in every room that you're supposed to be in. And I hope that you have the for whatever you need to just show up, because showing up is half of the battle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when I mean, like everyone else said, I'm not a therapist,
Mhm.
but I have dealt with people, and I don't know him personally, so I can't really pinpoint it, but I'm going to say this anyway. But people who have narcissistic behavior, and we throw that word around so lightly, but when you've dealt with someone like that, and so what it does, they become entitled to whatever space they are, to control the space that they are in. And it's like this passive aggressive rage. Like you said, like he could text you, "Don't come, crazy Kelly." And then he'll come there, and then he's around, and nobody except for you know that he has texted you this crazy message, gaslighting you and, humiliating you just to get his way. It's all about power. And the fact that you left him, and you probably were gone before he even realized that you were gone. So he felt so powerless. And the real issue is he feels powerless around you. And so you don't even realize how much power you have when you're in the same room as he.
Yes.
You think that he has the power, but you're the one with all the power. And he knows it, but he knows that you don't realize the power that you have. You're more powerful than he could ever be, because you have the guts to walk away from something that you may feel bad, have your bad moments now where you feel bad, but you had the power to walk away from something that could have
I
potentially put
did
you in
feel
the
bad.
worst
I
state.
felt terrible, but I
Yeah.
had to.
Yeah. And that's what you're dealing, I'll say it appears to be narcissistic behavior. And that's really a rage. When he's there, it's like a passive aggressive type of rage. I think the term is probably called like narcissistic rage or something, but it's important to, like Peach said, to stand your ground. Like you don't even have to look at him. And he's gonna be, until he changes, until he seeks therapy and realize that you don't owe him anything. Until he does that, unfortunately, he's gonna be like that probably until the good Lord calls him home. He probably will not ever change. But I just want you to know one thing, that you have the power. He knows you have the power, and his anger is from you having the power. That's what it's all about.
Did you come
Thank you for
across?
Also,
that.
also
And the thing
Kelly,
is, like, thank you for that. And the thing is, like, I'm not a victim. Like, I'm a powerful female. But, like, hearing that from you guys is making me feel so good. But I don't, like, I've backed down just for my children's sake. Like, at my daughter's wedding, like, I knew he was showing up. So I'm just going to call it out. He cheated on me after 30 years, and he's married to her now. And so my daughter's wedding, I didn't even go to because he was going to bring her. And then I'm thinking, is that me being like that was on me. I'm trying to deal with that fact. Like, why couldn't I show up? Why couldn't I?
Kelly, what I'm
So
hearing,
painful.
and it
I'm
will
being
continue
real, you
to,
guys.
yeah, it will
No, we
continue to
definitely
haunt
appreciate
you.
you being real, Kelly.
Yeah,
I'm
Definitely.
honest.
absolutely.
This is
But
my life.
don't allow shame. Don't allow shame and fear to keep you in bondage. You cannot be fearful to show up in rooms in times because of him. And the enemy will use fear against you. We do not have the spirit of fear. So you cannot be fearful to be in the spaces for your children when he's going to be there. That's one thing that the enemy is using against you. You have to put on your big girl and really not care about how he's feeling, because he's using that against you. Block him far as him having access to you to even send you crazy texts to make you feel shame, because shame is the other thing that the enemy is using. So now when I don't show up, he's attacking me with shame because I'm not showing up for my children, and he's attacking you with that. The enemy is not. Now I'm fearful because I don't want to confrontate with this guy, and then when I don't show up out of fear, I feel shame because I'm not there for my children. And
Well,
that's
because
what's attacking you,
he
baby.
has monetary leverage, sis.
I
Listen,
know, and he's a monitoring spirit too. That's why
I'm in
he's doing
Columbus,
you like
Ohio.
that.
He's like the vice president of Continental. Like, I'm not on here being fake. He cheated on me with his human resource after 30 years, um, employee. And like, even my daughter's wedding, he's like, I paid for it. You're not allowed to come. And my daughter's like, Mom, are you not going to come to my wedding, my baby? And so he literally, like, I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're fine.
Sound
I
like
want to
you
I
just
want to highlight one thing that Frida B did say in there
Yeah.
in the comment section, right? And I think it hits really it hits close.
Hmm.
Co-parenting doesn't require emotional access, only responsibility. Be present, be polite, protect your energy. Um, I think that right there is so key because it sounds like you still want to be so present with your kids. Protect your energy, but that doesn't mean you got to have a conversation with him. Your kids are grown. You know what I mean? And you don't necessarily have to conversate with him. You conversate with your kids and be there for them. Because, like you said, they are looking for you to be there. They need you to show up. You are the light that lights up their room and lights up their whole space. Be that aura, and don't let anyone, like Peachy say, dim your light. Nobody needs to dim your light in any
Yeah,
space.
I just
You know.
always feel like it would be less stressful for my daughters if I just didn't show up because of his energy. And I need to learn, like, I'm going to show up, and like, they get very stressed when I show up because of his energy towards me. It makes every situation, whether it's a birthday party, like, I have 3 grandchildren that race dirt bikes, like, and I want to come to the races, and I want to come to but I think it makes my kids so stressful when we're both in the same room.
I'm
So
the
I just sit
I'm telling
here.
you, it
I
doesn't
just,
make us stressful. It makes us stressful because we're like, is he gonna act up or is she gonna act up? Because they're gonna protect whoever they want there. They want both their parents there.
they
So the thing
do.
is, like in my situation, my mother when she acts up, even though I'm a daddy's girl, my brother tell you I'm daddy's baby. But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When my mom act up, I'm gonna go get real close to her. You know how they say keep your enemies close, your friends close, and your enemies closer. Now she's not my enemy, but I'm just using it as an analogy. I get real close to her because when she try to act up and the event is about somebody else and not her, like she'll put money on it like your husband does. Like I'm telling you, I know your story, but I'm the child in it. And I'm grown. I have a grown child. The thing is that I will get so close to her and be like, look, everybody in this room is looking at you and you look like a fool. You gotta check that narcissist and make sure that you know, yeah, eyes are on you, but you ain't looking too good in your light right now. That's not your job. Your job is just to show up and be present for your children because he will create a space. And the reason why you're sad is because resentment. I wasn't at my daughter's wedding. That's something that don't happen again. Lord willing, that's to death do them part. You can't go back and replay that and put yourself in there. So the thing is that you have to show up. You make that space uncomfortable because you belong there. Walk heavy. You belong in that room. I don't care if your money paid for it. Guess what? Where is your Cash App, your Zelle, Venmo? I'm gonna buy my own ticket to my daughter's wedding. You don't control nothing. Go sit down in your tux, and I'm gonna sit here and be pretty. And hopefully that whatever is pumped up in his side chick's breast don't pop out like and leak or nothing. I want you to make sure you talk yourself up so big and show up for your kids
Yeah.
and be conceited with it. Be cocky with it because that's gonna pump you up so you can be in that space for your family. Like
That's
I know
right.
you super bad all day to pull that
I
type
just
of
didn't want
high.
her to be uncomfortable. I didn't.
No, I want everybody to be uncomfortable because guess
That's
what?
right.
Then
That's
your
right.
children are gonna start cheering for
Mhm.
you. Yeah, mama was
Yep.
here.
And you know what?
Yep.
What Avery said, my daughter's name is Avery, and
Hmm.
I didn't show up at her wedding because of her dad. Like, he's like, "Don't come here, Kelly, because you're gonna ruin it." But you know what she said? I thought you would, Mom. I looked for you.
They want you to be there, Mom. You show up
No,
though.
Yep.
I know, but I just couldn't emotionally deal with him. And I don't know how to fix that. Like, he makes me,
You know
like,
how to fix it now? This is how you fix it
no,
now, Kelly. You
no,
from right now,
I
from this
want
point
to.
on, show up.
Show up.
Show up. From
Okay.
this point on, don't let nothing stop you from showing up.
Yeah. He's so
That's it.
intimidating. Like, you have no idea. He's like everything I hate. He's like a white supremacist. He's like voted for Trump. He's like homophobic. He's everything. And the thing is, like I got my daughter like with her dress and stuff, but like her venue, I could not show up. I pulled up, and my anxiety was so. He's that intimidating. I'm gonna show the fuck up. Watch and see. I will. Thank you
Show
guys.
up.
Yeah.
Yes, show up.
Show up, glow up, and
Yeah.
be there. And when you go there, man, don't focus your energy on what someone might think. It don't matter what nobody think. Show up for you, because when you show up for you, understand your kids are gonna look at you and say,
She
"Thank you,
showed
mom, for
up.
showing up."
I
She
hope.
showed up.
I'm trying my best. Like, I
Yes.
am. He's
Yes.
so intimidating, though. He's so like his money
And
works. His
stop saying he's intimidating.
That's right.
You are a queen.
Yeah.
You are a
he does
queen.
intimidate
Put
me.
your
I'm
crown
telling you the
back on your
truth, though.
head and keep your crown straight. Don't let nothing, no man intimidate you. Period.
Kelly, what's the next
Period.
event? I'm gonna bring my high heels and we walking in there together.
Come
Want
on.
to? Want to? So my middle daughter, go on my page, girl. Like, I'm not. I don't even come on TikTok to fake. Like, I'm real. My name is Kelly Beatler. You can like my next. I don't know. Well, my middle daughter got engaged. I wasn't invited because her dad said I won't pay for the venue if your mom's here. But we talk behind the scenes. So, um,
So let him pay for the venue. And you know when your daughters get married and we gonna show up. Send me the date. I work for Delta.
one,
I do my
two,
continental and I'll fly
please,
up
Man,
there and
I'm
watch.
gonna tell
please.
you
Tell
something.
her,
My
will I
sis will
show up?
show up with you. She will show up.
Girl,
I'm
I'm
telling
gonna
you.
I'm gonna follow this live. Like, I'm gonna follow this live. I'm
Will
not
show up.
sad at all. Like, I am never sad.
You know
Tonight, for
what?
some
Let me
reason, I'm
interrupt really
sad.
quick.
I
Let
don't
me
know
interrupt
why.
really quick because I want to say this, Kelly. You from and this is my
I'm
perspective.
a really good
I get
person, y'all. I
hold on,
am.
hold on,
I
brother.
got you.
It's okay. It's okay. What I want to say to you is that what I get from you is that you are sad, you are hurt,
I'm
and
so
that is
sad. You have no
okay.
idea.
It's okay. It's okay to be that. That's the part of your chaos that you've got to sit in and settle with yourself to understand that you are going to be okay.
Yeah, I didn't
That you
mean to bring this to your live. I'm sorry.
no, you're
No,
good.
this
You're
is what it's
good.
for.
This is what it is.
This is what it's for.
Like, if you knew how much of a leadership position I'm in 24/7, and I never have time to be sad, and can anyone relate? Like, it, I can never express my like lack of emotions because people look to me, and I think that's why I'm so
Hmm.
sad
Well,
sometimes.
it's like you said, you're a therapist, but you know what? Even therapists need
It
therapists.
makes me sad. Yes, yes.
That part, Marlon. That part, brother.
Even therapists need therapists.
Yeah,
Even
I'm
therapists
gonna join
need
your live.
therapists.
Believer?
Like, you can go on my page and see. Like, I'm not a weirdo. I'm not like some TikTok weirdo. Like, I literally, I definitely, I travel the world. I just take care of people. But sometimes I'm sad.
Kelly, I have a question. Are you a believer?
Oh my gosh, yes. But I've been so disappointed. Listen, I've been
Okay,
so
I'm
disappointed.
a admonish you. I'm a admonish you to get on your knees. Get on
I've
your
been,
knees, and just like you crying out, I need you to start taking time
but I've
out. I
been
don't
so
care if it's
disappointed in the church, sister. Listen,
no, hold
the,
on, listen to me. Listen. I
they have
just hear me.
disappointed me.
That's okay. Hear my heart. Hear my heart in this moment. This is not about the church. This is about you and God. This is
That's right.
about
Mm.
your
That's right.
relationship
That's
with
right.
you and him. This has
That's
nothing to
right.
do with you going to a church. This is about you getting on your knees and crying out to your father who
That's
will
right.
have you. He is near the brokenhearted, Kelly. He is looking for you, honey, and he will hear your heart and he will start to turn things around for you, my love. I feel you. I have been there. I'm in the trenches and I'm telling you, he is a present
But
help.
I
He
was
is
in
a
leadership
present
in the
help.
church. I was in leadership in the church, and what my
Oh
pastor
God, I'm
said,
praying for
I was in
you.
the apostolic church. Hear me out. He said when I filed for divorce for which I didn't want to do, he said, "Well, you can't be in church now. God doesn't believe in." Listen. I'm not. I'm listening to you. I'm telling you. I know. I speak in tongues. I am filled with the Spirit. I'm just broken right now.
I
I don't know
know.
why I'm
And we
expressing
just, that
that.
was what I said earlier today, how sometimes the religion will keep us in bondage, but it's not about the religion, honey. It's about your relationship. It's about the relationship you have with God. So put the religion part to the side, fall on your knees and call on the relationship that you have. You say you've been talking in tongues? That's
Oh,
relationship. You say you've
yeah,
been praying? That's
forever since I was
relationship.
4. The first time
All of
I
that.
spoke in tongues, I was 4 years old.
So he already got a calling on your
But
life. You just got to hit your
religion
knees,
messed me
baby.
up. You hear me?
Yes, but relationship
Religion
is
messed
still
me up.
there.
The apostolic doctrine messed me up because
But the
they're like,
relationship is there, baby.
I
The
know.
relation He ain't forgot
Thank
about
you.
you. He
Nope.
has not forgot about you, baby. I
Yeah,
promise
you're a
you, if you
believer.
get on your knees and you get back to what you know, he ain't forgot you. And I promise you, you gonna see things change in that moment. I bet my life on it, honey. I bet my life on it. Just try it. And watch
Right.
how
Thank you.
things start to turn around in
Thank you
your
so
heart
much. I
first.
was literally
Yeah.
just scrolling. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
not weak. Like if you know my profession, like I'm not broke. I make
Yeah.
money. I'm like,
You don't have to explain
but
that,
I'm
love.
sad. I'm super
You,
sad.
So
Do
can
yeah,
you?
that's why
I
I'm
ask you
saying,
a
look.
question? When you show up, can you process that like you're going to see a client? Are you afraid of your clients? Do
Oh
they
no, I
intimidate
show
you?
up for my
Well, then
clients.
show up for your children like you showing up for a client.
Ooh,
If you
yes.
have to process it that way, so just a little secret. I work with dead people, and that
Wait,
affects.
you work with what? You said dead people?
Yeah. So, but what I do
What do you
is
mean dead people?
people that don't have a spirit in them no more. It's just a carcass.
Oh, I didn't know if you meant like. So here's the thing, y'all. You can go like I work for 3 spas. I do cryotherapy. I do infrared sauna, cold
Yep.
plunge, and
Cryotherapy is amazing. Yep. I
it
have that about
is.
too.
Is it? It
Yeah, I
is,
started out in
y'all. It
California. But
is.
listen, this is what I was gonna say. I don't actually go in as like a person with feelings and all that stuff. I actually have to handle certain things like it's a science project.
No
So
doubt.
handle those appointments with your family like you're going to an appointment with your client, if that will help you process and get in the door. So
That
we have
is
actually,
great.
so
That
when
is
you say,
great
okay,
advice.
so it's my daughter's
So
wedding,
I work for
and
like, listen, I own spas. I don't want to expose it. Please don't like, please don't, because my ex-husband might find. But I do cryotherapy. I do infrared sauna, cold plunge, and float spas. So here's the thing. I reach out. My whole day is giving into others. And I don't know why you guys made me cry. Like, I don't cry that much. I'm kind of a bitch, but like, I'm not mad at it. So I'm going to pause and let you guys pour into my life because I don't know why I'm sad tonight. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be
it's
sad
a
on your
really
life.
what it sounds like. But when I tell you cryotherapy, I had that business as well. I had the walk in and the ones that they slip in, and the floating spas are amazing. I go to the one here in my county, super amazing. But yeah, they you just needed a release because strong people don't have anyone to lean on because they're always coming to you. How do I process
Always,
this?
always
How do I
coming
do
to us.
this? Even
Listen, let me
friends.
tell you, sis,
Yeah.
every day, this is what I do every day, y'all. I pour into other people. I try to fix them. And I don't know why, like, his life made me vulnerable, but I hope you guys don't judge me about being sad. Please don't. Um,
No,
I'm
this is
sorry that
like
I was vulnerable in your life.
it's
I'm
judgment free
sorry.
zone.
I
No,
No judgment.
apologize.
look, let me tell you one thing about this live right here. I do this every Wednesday and Thursday, and this is a safe space, right? You are safe here. There's no one that's going to be on here that judges you. Um, for one, I won't tolerate it because I don't mind kicking people off. I don't care. And you are in a safe space. It's like PGT said. It's like Dr. Sparks said. You got your release. Now that you got your release,
What am I going to do with it?
what are you going to
So
do
here's
with
the
it?
thing. Like she said, like I literally am in the wellness industry. And so my sadness, like I'm never sad like until I think about like that part of my life that I shared. And so I appreciate you and thank you so much for like letting me share it. I'm not trying to fix it. I just do not know how to fucking navigate it. I don't know how to. I can't change him, but the fuck, how do I
You have to
navigate that?
compartmentalize. You have to compartmentalize and act like you're going into business. You said you a B, you a boss. So what you have to do is say, okay, he's here. Put him in a little box. Put him in a corner pocket or the inner pocket of your blazer, because I know you have some really nice ones. And walk up in there and be the B you just said you were. Own your power and walk into that space. Walk heavy and say, look, I'm a business owner. I need to get in there because my daughter has some people in this event that need to come to my float and spa, my cryotherapy locations. They need my therapy services. Walk in there like a boss and handle your business. Compartmentalize and process quietly.
Like I'm like you only see me right now with that's my Cane Corso, but I fucking own spas. That's
Well,
what
what
I'm
I need you
saying.
to do is real quick like and share this live too, and make sure when you come back tomorrow or next week, bring some friends with
I
you and put
always share. Let me share right now. Ready?
okay, yeah, do
So
Yes,
that
here's
for
the
me.
yes.
thing.
So I'm gonna
Y'all
let you
can
go
come
ahead
if you were in
and
Columbus. If anyone's in Columbus, you can come to my spa free. Want to? You're not in Columbus, so
Dr. Spark is in Toledo. She said she's like right next to you. Like,
she
yeah,
can
she's
come
a Toledo
down.
girl.
Have
So
her come down. She can. She's free.
hey, well there it goes. That's what
My
we're gonna do.
shit.
We're gonna network. So Kelly,
We're gonna
I'm gonna
network.
drop you down now, Kelly. I'm gonna let you get yourself together. Okay. You and Dr. Spark definitely connect with each other. Um, but I'm gonna let you come down so you can kind of get yourself together, okay? Everyone appreciates you. Everyone. Keep your head up, okay? You got this. I appreciate
yay.
everybody on that. Um, I definitely appreciate that. You know,
Thank you.
our sister needed that. She's still down there in the comment section. Yeah, she's down in the comments now. Let her you know, get herself together and everything. Hey daughter, what's up? Um Man, beautiful job, guys. I mean, this was amazing. Keep tapping, guys. Keep tapping. Keep tapping. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see where we at.
I'm trying to get us there, brother. My fingers is going to work, Jack. I'm doing the free to be over here.
Free to be is you. Free to be. I need you to get it. Just get it, Frida. Yeah,
All right.
Frida was dropping down some things down there, man.
Absolutely.
Um, I mean, everybody's been dropping. You know what I'm saying? I got my boy Busy down there dropping some jewels, man.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you know, one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let God move me how I need to be moved, and I let it happen, and it was just happening. So sometimes we got to roll with it. Sometimes you just got to let things roll. Everybody was adding value. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was adding value. Peachy Tay was dropping the value. Dr. Spark dropping the value. I am Kia, like dropping value. 33 dropping value. Shay ain't dropped nothing because she just got on here. But love you, daughter. um, but this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that, like they said, sometimes they're just strolling and it come across. You know what I'm saying? It ain't by chance that when people come across it. I've gone past that. Oh, it's just nah. It was designed that way. It was designed that way, and this is what we're gonna keep doing. So I'm gonna kind of pillow around on here a little bit, just until we get to that big fat number that I'm trying to get to.
Oh
So
yeah.
so what else is on everybody else's mind? Yo, Rachel, I appreciate you. Yes, Rachel was down in the comment. I apologize. Yes, the comment section was really dropping some things.
It was.
Yeah, yeah. Comment section was dropping a lot. Um,
Oh,
and I
first
appreciate
time
the
here
comment
too,
section.
Marlon. First time
What's that?
here. That's
Yeah,
Rachel. That's
right.
Rachel's first time here. That's great.
Rachel, don't let it
That's
be the
love.
last.
That's
Don't let
love.
it be the last. We'll be back tomorrow. I do this on Wednesday and Thursdays. You guys check out the profile. I'm gonna kind of leave it like that because TTB catching on certain things, but it's a thing in there that if you click on it and you go to that other thing, um, I'm trying to get them subscribers up over there. So y'all check out your boy profile. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Appreciate you. Anybody else got anything they want to add from tonight's topic? I got Dr. Spark. I'm gonna have to put a doctor in front of Dr. Kia and Dr. Peachy Tay too, because we got all these doctors up in here dropping these jewels and stuff, man. So,
It helped me with what I got going on. Thank you. That's great. That's great. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's
I
perfect.
like that what Rachel said. Look,
Yep.
if it helps, that's the main thing, man.
Yep.
I don't want something to be where nobody can't get anything out of it. As you see, yeah, it might be my podcast, but I try not to sit up here and just talk, 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 talk. I want everybody to be able to express themselves and share their stories if they want to share it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's important. It's so important because to know that somebody is experiencing what you have experienced and hearing how somebody else's story and their testimony of getting out of certain situations is huge. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's huge.
My motto is always therapy plus God or God plus therapy. They
Yes,
interchangeable. You need to have
yes,
both. It will get you through. And that's for whoever needs it or don't know where to start. Um your knees. That's where you start and crying out and getting connected if you ain't connected. She made a real good point when she was saying how she was hurt by the church, and I was a little hurt for her because church hurt keeps people from connecting sometimes, and that's a misfortunate. So
yeah,
don't allow church hurt to keep you from connecting to God. Don't let religion interrupt your relationship. And I'm
absolutely.
gonna land with that.
No, and I like how you landed it with that, Kia, because I definitely always appreciate what you dropped on her and put it back on the forefront in perspective of what's the most important thing, which is that relationship. The relationship with God is what is the most important. You know, you can't be conformed to the ideologies of the church, but you got to build that relationship with God, and God will lead you where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? God is going to lead you where you need to go. You gotta build that foundation with him, because somewhere down the line, we've all have gone astray, and we have to find our way back, right? And when we find our way back, that's when the tears will pour. I believe those tears she got right now is a combination of tears, right? Those are tears of man, I needed to hear this, because you know it's like the Bible says, when two or more are gathered, he's there. Understand, he was there. He was there. So, um,
glad she was able to find this live and was able to have this moment to get, to cleanse, get some sound wisdom, and some direction. And then it was just so dope that we were able to even guide her back to God, and finding out, she's like, I've been knowing him since I've been 4 and talking in tongues. And that took me back, that took my mind back to identity, how through church hurt, he'll rob you out of what you already been knowing from a child, and just
mhm,
imagine if you would have, been tapped in all that time, because I'm guilty of that, been knowing him, for a lifetime, and think back like, man, if I'd have been tapped in like I should have been tapped in, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at in this moment. I'd probably be on a higher frequency, level, energy, and all of that. And he comes in, and the evil comes in, and he likes to rob us of our identity and the blessings that we've experienced in childhood sometime. And my heart just went out to her. So, Kelly, I'm praying for you. If you're still in listening, or if you're in the chat, I'm praying for you in your heart. And we love you with the love of God over here. So I just wanted to let her know that.
Yeah, and like you said, with the church hurt, but what happened to her? She was really that was kind of abusive, because if the one thing, or one of the things, if you read the Bible, Matthew tells us that infidelity, sexual immorality, is one of the reasons to leave. Like, if you can't leave for no other reason, you can definitely leave for infidelity. And so for that pastor, bless his heart, to tell her that, it was a bit abusing of his authority. I'm not sure what allegiance he had, with her husband, if any at all, but that that type of counseling, I would call it, it wasn't good, and it wasn't healthy. I just, I just wish that he would have given her, as a leader, that he would have handled her with better care. You know what I mean? And to tell her, he really silenced her. And I don't know if you ever been silenced before in a situation, whether in the church, outside of the church, in the community. Man, that is like gut wrenching. It's like muzzling you. It's one thing. And if you don't have nobody in your life to snatch that away, I'll never forget that I had went through something so horribly in my natural mother. That's why, listen, honor your parents, because they got to, I don't care what leader you serve, your parents, that's where your true identity comes and flows through. So if they still here, if they're not, pull up some words, some things that they said to you, if they spoke anything positive in your life, because I promise you, it will launch you into something beyond your wildest dreams. And this was about 7 years ago, and it was with a leader in the church. That's the thing. It was with a pastor, and I was done horribly wrong. And my mother, I sat on the side of her bed with tears in my eyes, and my mother looked at me and she said, she caught that right away. She said, you will not be silenced, because that's what happens. Things like that, and those leaders, and sometimes they don't even realize what they're doing, but they're stifling and they're silencing, they're muzzling your voice. And your voice is your power. It is your strength. It is your outlet. It's your stance. It is you resounding in the earth. Like, it's something that is so powerful, and it's something that, how, she does everything she does, and she's so powerful, but that one moment silenced her in such a way. But I really do believe that now, I don't even know if she realized at this meeting, on this live, she got a piece of her voice back. just for her to confess and say, I was speaking in tongues since I was 4 years old. How amazing. That means that there was such a call on that woman's life, and what nobody mad but the devil. And that he came through they called the woman the weaker vessel, but he came through the weaker vessel, which is her husband, and used that situation to silence and stifle her voice of what he called her to do, and I just hope and pray that she reestablish herself in God's kingdom and in his purpose and in his will, because for you to be speaking in tongues and praying for God at 4 years old, there's a mighty call on that woman's life. I absolutely believe that.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And to piggyback off you, Dr. Sparks, for those who don't have a parent that speak into you your identity, you can find your identity in God. He tells you who you are to him and how he loves you and how you are his love and his care, so much that the devil goes up against you to talk bad about you. That's how much he loves you. So if
Ooh,
you
yeah.
don't have that person to tell you that, it's in the word. Look at the promises he made to you, the sacrifices, how he gave up his only child for you. He loves you. And so if you can't find your identity from your parent or nobody in your family, because I am a black sheep and my identity has always been in God. He's my safe place. Okay, so I'm telling whoever's listening, you can find your identity in him. And I promise you, it won't fail you. And I'm a land with that.
I would love to piggyback off of that, Dr. Sparks and I am Key. Y'all done started something. Listen, let me tell you something. The enemy wants to shut you up because your voice is your power. You were made in God's image, and God created everything with his words. And so every time you say I am, you're talking about God, because you are created in his image. And guess what? The greater that's inside of you is him than you that's in the world. So every time you say I am, she kept saying I am. So if it doesn't say I am in something that is a adverb or a noun or a pronoun or whatever you want to say of God, that's a lie. That's the words of the enemy. So I need you to use your words, because that is the power. And guess what? Everybody likes to say the first part of life and death lies in the power of your tongue. But guess what? Do you know you eat it? That's what you're going to eat. Do
Mm.
you want the poison, or do you
Say that.
want the fruit of your lips and not just giving lip service? That's why I put in the chat, what spirit, boo? I listen for
That part.
that. You got to try that
Exactly.
spirit by the spirit. And I love the fact that I am Kai brought God back into it and introduced the Holy Spirit back into it so it could do its perfect work for the will of God. So thank you for being a Christ representative in this chat for her. And to God be the glory for that, because I think that is so important, and I thought it was so impactful and powerful. And I just want to thank you for doing that.
Absolutely, man. Timing is God shows up. His timing is perfect.
Hmm.
Perfect. And,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna leave it right there. Like I am kids say, I'm just gonna leave that right there. His timing is perfect. Sure.
That part.
Huh? Come on.
That part. I told you it was gonna be a smoker tonight, bro.
Hey, bro. We had that whole conversation today, and I said,
Yep.
and I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna be real. I was debating on whether I was going to do this topic tonight. I had a whole nother one planned out, and
Yeah.
something said, "Nah, you need to do this one. You
What
need to
said
do
something? What said something, preacher man? What said something? Not something. What
God,
said it? The Holy
God."
Spirit said it.
The
The Holy
spirit
Spirit
said,
talked to
the
you
spirit
and
said,
said, no.
"Nah."
The Holy
He said,
Spirit
"Nah."
said, no, you don't do it. Okay. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure what spirit.
Oh
Yeah.
no, no, no. We know this. It was nothing but hey, it was nothing but God, man. Because I was not going to do this, and I already. I mean, I created a whole different thing. I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. Nah, the
Mm.
spirit said, nah, you need to do that. And
Yes.
I talked to Big Guy earlier,
Yep.
and he said, hey man, what is it going to be tonight?
Mm-hmm.
And I sent it, and I said, this is what this is what what's this is tonight. And I was still a little hesitant because I didn't know how much I didn't have my preparation together. Y'all know I like to come with my notes. I like to come with everything structured out. And I said, okay.
Hmm.
And I sat here, I picked up the grandkids from school, and I was like, oh man, I ain't got no time to go over nothing. But it all flowed into me while I was doing everything else. So,
It is. It
but
is.
God. So, but God.
But
And
he
look at us sitting over here at 103,000 likes.
103 first time visitor
And they
coming
Yeah,
in, engaging big time.
yeah,
still coming.
Freaking
Come on.
doctors, as you say, on the panel,
yeah,
Brother Marlon, preaching and
yes.
teaching, giving life lived examples
Hey,
and understanding. So it was great. It was
it was
great.
great.
That's what it's
Can't
for.
wait to see what tomorrow gonna bring.
Boom.
Tomorrow gonna bring something too. So, matter of fact, I'll go ahead and tell you what tomorrow's gonna look like. Let everybody kind of ponder on it. So tomorrow, all right. Let me pull my little. Uh, whoo. Hmm.
Smoker.
Okay. So, so again, I'm torn between two. I'm torn between two. I'll let you guys tell me which one you want to do. So, um, one is where is it at? All right, go back to my notes. Um, so I got one of my topics I was thinking was when your needs aren't met in time, what do you do what do you do without breaking the marriage or the relationship?
Oh, that's it right there. Ain't no need to even read the other one. That's the one. I mean,
I
that's
don't know.
that's the one too.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
I'm. I mean, I said what I thought. Everybody else might feel something different. They may want to know, but I'm like, that's if that ain't a rabbit hole that you can't foresee, that's crazy. Read that
Okay.
one. Read it again. Read it again.
When your needs aren't met in time, what do you do without breaking the marriage or relationship?
Yeah, tell people. Yeah, that's the one for me.
Are we all in agreement on that? Or do we need to hear what the other one is? So I'm gonna tell you what the other one. The other one is where is it at? Hold on, where is it at? Da-da-da-da.
Hmm. I'm telling you, that's the one for me.
Marriage and relationships are a service-based industry. So we we got two good ones, man. I think it's two good ones because yeah, yeah, right, Dr. Smart. Marriage and relationships are a service-based industry. They kind of go hand in hand. Yes, they do kind of go hand in hand. That's why I kind of like. So maybe what I'll do is I'll combine both of those and intertwine them together, and then we all will chop it up tomorrow.
That second one
Yeah.
co-mingles with that past podcast. Is it contractual or?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling
It
you.
definitely go they definitely go hand in hand, because when you're talking about service and then when you're talking about not getting your needs met, it's all transactional. You're talking about your
It's
needs
all
being met and
transaction.
servicing, and so they both kind of he
Okay, now
that's
we got
yeah.
we gonna have to put some brakes on that thing because it'll take off right here.
I know. I'm gonna put some brakes on it right now because boy, I'm gonna work on that.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
33. 33.
Yes,
33.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You gonna say Beetlejuice?
Woo! Beetlejuice.
That's 3 times.
No, that was twice.
21. Let go, Keita. Keita off work. Oh. Keita here.
Yes.
Boy. Y'all are
And
crazy.
don't worry, guys. I'm definitely gonna upload this up on my my channel, and I want everybody to go over there and definitely subscribe. I'm trying to say it without TT.
If everybody look at themselves and say you, and then go home and watch TV on the tube, that's what we need y'all to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Put it in the I don't know. Message me. I didn't know you had a situation over there.
Yeah, it's up in
I
my
do
by my
too.
name.
That part. So yeah, we definitely
It's a
Yeah,
big
it's up by the
situation over
name.
there. It's a big
Yeah.
that part.
situation over there.
Yeah.
So go.
Y'all
So
make
If
y'all
sure
you
make
ever
y'all
sure
want
you
to
cop
go
my
to
catch
the.
book
all of
too.
this right here, it's
Yeah,
over there.
that's a
Oh,
big
okay.
situation.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Put it in the message so I can check it out over there and do what I
Dr.
need to do
Spark,
on
man,
that
are you
end.
laughing at me, Dr. Spark? Talking about go to the mirror and look at you, and then
Yes, that's exactly that's exactly. I was like, genius. You know what I'm talking about? Black folk. I mean, everybody, but we know how to put some stuff together. We can
Hey,
read
as we
anything.
sat here earlier going, now how are we going to say this?
I told him I would think of it. I
Very
actually
clear.
came,
We
I
got
came off the
that. Didn't
cuff
we
with
get
Yeah,
that
that?
one.
We got that, definitely.
everybody picking up what we're putting down.
Yeah. And let me just say, this is
Everyone.
my first time in this. I've never even seen you on here before, but
It
I'm
was.
inclined. Yeah, this is my first time.
It
Yeah,
was.
in your
Yep.
podcast in your room. So
Yeah.
wow, yeah, it's definitely a beautiful message that's being delivered. I love it.
Hey, well, keep coming. I do it Wednesday and Thursdays. Wednesday and Thursdays, same time. I'll be back. Like as my slogan says, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a man who been through some things. so,
Brother
um,
Marlon, I'm gonna ask you to drop me down first, and
yeah,
I appreciate everybody. Thank you all for coming, tapping, showing my brother Marlon love. You know, giving your thoughts and opinions on his podcast is it's a great place to be on a Wednesday, on a Thursday.
yes,
Great place to be.
yeah,
So we appreciate y'all. Thank you. Um, yeah.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna drop everybody down. I'm gonna start off with Big Guy. I'm gonna drop you down.
Can I go next?
Absolutely, Kia. Got you right here, love.
Can you guys go ahead and check out my book? It's on Amazon. The link is in the chat. I would greatly appreciate that. It's gonna help you
Kia,
out. It's gonna be great. Yes, sir.
you're gonna have to send it to a message because in the chat we can't grab it, but if you
Okay.
send it in a message, we can.
Okay. I'll put it in the message. I'll put it in the message.
Yeah. All right.
All right. You guys have a good one. Love you all. Enjoyed it
Love you too.
always.
All right. Dr. Spark, I appreciate your input. You dropped some nuggets. You dropped some jewels, and we definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Absolutely.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna drop you down,
All right.
sis. Always, always. You already know my beautiful bald sister. I cut my hair too, by the way, just so you know.
Oh Lord. Definitely a pleasure. Definitely a pleasure.
Yeah.
Unapologetically bold, standing in my power. I'm gonna definitely continue to share and receive and learn from the amazing people that you have on this podcast. It's definitely a blessing. Thankful for all of your experiences that you have gone through, because you're helping other people grow. So don't hold it back, like Dr. Sparks and Kia said. You know, use your voice, use your words.
Yeah,
You know, you went
yeah,
through something to help somebody else, and they could be that person on this podcast that needs to hear what you went through, because guess what? You here. And so we
yeah.
just thank God for you, and thank God for this podcast. May it continue to grow. Blessings, bro. Love
Hey,
you. Good night.
love you too. Bye. Daughter, I appreciate you always showing up. She always show up. I appreciate you. She might have fell asleep on me, but it's okay. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate you guys so much. Your value, everything that you input. Um, I always try to go back and read the comments and everything, because I want everybody to have their voice to be heard. Um, but of course, at anytime, please come up. I can hear your voice, because I want to make sure everybody's, is being heard from their perspective and their points and what they want to drop as far as their jewels. So definitely at any point, come on up and share your knowledge. As for me, I'm about to go chill for a second and get prepared for tomorrow. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love. We did it, guys. 108,000 likes. Let's get it.